you like that, buddy? Oh boy, it's a new era for 3C. That's right. I've upgraded and leveled up after years of saving coins for my character. I discovered the upgrade menu. Get the new intro, get a theme song. I don't need, let's keep them fat. Okay, yep. All right, this is how I like it. Welcome, one and all, and thank you for being here. Yes, how do you like that? The 3C Films. Oh, that is me. I'm famous in my own intro. Oh my goodness. It is so nice to see you guys. Yes, it is Sun in the Flesh. Ah. Oh, didn't know I can hit that live, did you? So good to seeing all your faces here today. Yes, the 3C rebrand is in full swing. Unk has arrived. Yes, I am here. You'll feel free to ask all your questions and leave me your complaints. I don't like the new look, the new intro stick. There's always going to be that one. No matter what, I get it. Change is scary. No one wants things to be different. Everything can stay the same because that's what brings us comfort, right? Change means we evolve. The more we evolve, the closer we are to death. I don't know if that's the psychological reason, but that's the reason I like to think of all this. So, yes, and for sure, thank you for saying it off the top here, my friend. Let me see if I can go to that comment. We are going to be talking movie news, but no Spider-Man spoilers. Do not be that person. Do not be that individual. Not even fake spoilers to be. Oh, Batman shows up and he gets pregnant. Oh, there's somebody who might believe that, believe it or not. I can discuss later whether we should do a spoiler live stream this Sunday. I'm contemplating it. I've made up my mind. Fine, we're doing it, okay? I will post the details on the community page. You will see it. But Sunday, spoiler live stream for Spider-Man, and you can get all your questions out there. And if you just want my spoiler thoughts now, video already up in the channel, man. Already up in the channel. Okay, so some of the stuff we're going to be discussing here today, guys, is all right. Your boy became a meme, and we have to just honor this moment in history because I doubt I'll ever become a meme again, unless I just continue to say horrible things. Jumanji open world trailer. Got to take a look at that. Wonder Man season 2. Kevin Feige, you're dead to me. Mahershala is saying the same thing because he's calling out Marvel and he does not sound happy. Then we got some X-Men casting, one that looks pretty official, and then some rumored ones. Seems like we're about to get this cast at D23. And then the main thing in the thumbnail, y'all, Nightmare on Elm Street is not just getting one, it is getting two reboots happening simultaneously. This is one of the most insane stories I've ever read. I had to talk about this. It is crazy stuff. And of course, oh my god, we're spamming sun in the chat. Oh, let's just do it early.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
That's the power of the sun. Oh man, it's gonna be a crazy stream. Oh my goodness. So let's just dive into it. Okay, last week on 3C Films, 3C was pinned to a corner as he was being canceled. Guys, please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I love James Gunn. And this week, he's being made fun of. Cyberbully or a funny joke? Find out this week on 3C Live. Okay, that's enough of the Dragon Ball Z intro. So yes, I went from being canceled 1 week to then out of nowhere becoming a meme. And it's been the funnest thing, uh, one of the funniest things of my career. So, okay, if you have not seen it, it is this image that has been haunting me for the last couple of days. I would really like to thank and shake hands with the person who created and spread this around because the amount of times I have seen this the last couple of days has been kind of crazy. And most of the people, it's also an infinite money glitch. If you're someone who pays for Twitter and gets money, you post this picture and boom, 7,000 likes. Like, okay. All right. So it started off with my vlog, which thank you guys so much who tuned into the Spider-Man vlog. Those videos are always a little tough to make. They take a lot of time, a lot of money too. And you guys showed up to them. You guys are really enjoying that video. And well, I busted out this pose thinking, look how cool I look in the middle of a Walmart. And well, someone saw that and just thought, son, son. They put me in the Temu Tobey Maguire Sam Raimi poster, and it just went wild from there. From there, we just got, this is the most I have ever seen. I don't even know if I have a tweet with this many likes. Someone just reposted it, Normie, who I've had a fan of mine's for years. Thank you, Normie. 49. What? Okay, I am it's probably a perfect meme because if you are a fan of mine and you enjoy me, well, then you're going, ah, Chris, oh, that funny guy. Look at him getting memed about. But if you're someone that hates me and you were part of the 3C cancel campaign of last week, you look at this and go, yeah, that tubby man's getting made fun of. I like, reshare. It works both ways. And I don't know which is fueling more of these likes, my fans or my haters. We'll find out as we keep going. So there we go. Even Neb, good old Neb, famous GIF man. The G in GIF is for gay, as by the flag. Please don't post that, Neb. I love you. Just kidding. But he posted it, and I was like, oh, if Neb posted it, it's we just hit the Pentagon. Like, it's everywhere now. Everyone is aware of this. And I go down, and Neb then quadruples it, excruples it, trinfinities it. I couldn't believe it. Oh man, it just kept going. All right, we had that one. This is my favorite picture of all time now. 8,000 likes. Oh my goodness. Someone turned it into there's a person walking around that needs to be reminded of patience, and that 3C Films is Sun. Okay. We keep going. This is Doomblazer. This is easily my favorite 3C meme. Okay, then the creativity started coming. Wong updates, which if you do not follow them. Great stuff they post. Bro, put me in the back. I'm over here trying to take a tank down. Oh, then it got out of hand. People that don't even really mess with me or know of me just started posting it, just started adding it to their tweets. Right here, this has nothing to do with me. Just spent $124 on Spider-Man Brand New Day stuff. Oh, there's the lovely, beautiful popcorn buckets and merch. And then Son? What did he say for me? What did I do? Why did I 20,000 likes, man? Okay, all right. And we kept going. This one as well. It didn't get as many likes, but still, I don't even think this person knows me. I looked at both my accounts. They don't follow my main account. They don't follow my original account. They seem to just make gaming content, and they're not even posting anything related to it. I just finished my video. It's going up, guys. Then I'm going to my Brand New Day showing. Huh? What? Why am I included? All right. Then, okay, this is what really blew my mind. This is one of those bait accounts, or like one of those accounts that just be tweeting. They probably make, a living off just tweeting. That's all they do. I've seen this account from time to time. 1.6 million followers. They just tweet the most random things to try and get, likes and things going and stuff like that. And now I am being used as what? As Twitter bait. What did I do? And this is also the worst part, because this escaped the 3C community fan circle. All right, this actually just went out into the ether, and we had the Twitter trolls, and I was scared scrolling through these. So let's take a look and see if I can hold back the tears. Okay, I like that one. I'll take the Hulk down, and Scorpion, you're getting a smooch. She wants Spider-Man, but walks past Peter Parker every day. Okay, I guess. It's giving. Even Doc Ock is huge. I didn't notice that. I just thought it was Spider-Man. Oh, man. They got 3C films on mainstream Twitter feeds now. Elon, protect my goat, please. uh, the sun will be too hot for Spider-Man this time around because of I don't even know. Okay. Uh, let's see what else we got. Even Doctor Strange can't explain this timeline. It was just bad. It was yeah, I like someone was trying to keep up my aura. Son. Oh, that someone did a deconstruction of me. I like it. I'd actually hang that up. Look, that looks you could almost say I look like Danny Phantom there. Okay, I like that actually. That's nice. It's not as bad as I thought. I saw Spider-Man's son to catch diabetes. Oh, bro. Okay, now I don't what is this? Get me out of there. I don't even know what's happening now. Ain't no way. Okay. So we continue on. Sammy, good old Sammy. You guys know Sammy. Good creator. He had to hop on and make a little thing, which I honestly was laughing so hard at this.
Who's that?
Hang on, let me make sure it's not blasting your guys' ears.
Who's that? Son.
I must now make a cringe tro of every time they say the word son in a Spider-Man movie and insert myself. That was perfect. The way Sammy thought of that so quickly was hilarious. And well, because I'm a good sport and I do like having a little bit of laugh here and there, when I went to go see Spider-Man for a second time at my local theater, I played into the gag. Look at that. I know how to have fun. Maybe I'm just hoping if I joke along, it'll die and then we can move on from this. So, hey, I think that's not bad. Going from getting just online hate one week to then becoming a meme and everybody coming together. I was so pissed actually that me talking about this meme went more viral than my photo at the red carpet of Spider-Man. Look at this, 15,000 likes. My photo at the red carpet, I even had to like it myself to try and boost it up. The world just likes me. Even is this actually my legacy now? 18,000 likes. I hope Tom and Zendaya see this. They appear to be meme connoisseurs. I've seen like 2 interviews now where they go, fa! Even one of the interviews, Tom and Zendaya, they do the fa, and Tom Holland hits a button to do it. And I'm like, okay, how many people are hitting a button to say fa other than your boy? Tom, if you're out there, buddy, let's do something, man. Let's get together. I had a can of Bureau today just for you, Tom. Let's do it. So, yes, guys, I am son now, and we'll see. I tried also doing the thing where it's like, oh, I could be funny too, which is we're going to talk about Freddy Krueger. I made a Freddy Krueger son, and yeah, it didn't catch on. I don't think it's going to catch on. I like how someone called me out on it too. They were like, hang on, where is it? They were like, no one using these. You know me too well. You know me. Someone's going to use that Freddy son. Someone's going to use it. Okay, so, hey, I am happy to be him.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
All right, good stuff. So, hey, what did you guys think? You like the meme? You not? Unk's dragging it. Hey, the sooner I drag it, the sooner it dies and we can move on. It's been fun being a meme, but I'm starting to realize some of you are laughing at me. That's funny. All right, good stuff. We'll see how it evolves or if it changes or what happens. But let's move on to some actual good movie news to discuss here. So, one of the things that happened as I was coming back from LA from the I just went right back from the Spider-Man Brand New Day premiere is we got the trailer for Jumanji Open World. Oh Lord, we got it here. All right. My sister must be watching live. She literally just sent me the photo. She's going to see Spider-Man, and she just sent me the photo saying it's time. That's hilarious. Enjoy, sis. Okay. All right, we got a trailer for Jumanji Open World. Now, I like the Jumanji movies. I'm still much more of the 1995 Robin Williams Jumanji lover. Like, that is just high bar. Love that film. Honestly, Robin Williams movies just go a long way for me. Still really like this one as my favorite. But you know what they did with the most recent ones with The Rock? It has a great cast. There's some good jokes involved. I don't think they play into the Jumanji world as well as the Robin Williams one does, or even Zathura. Ball knowledge knowers. Give me a juice box. I was like, whoa, that's some foul language for the family movie tonight, Dad. But while he's saying it, get me a juice box. And then my dad punched me. False scenario I made in my head. All right, where were we? Oh, yeah, Jumanji. And so, okay, this third movie, I was honestly a little bit kind of hyped for because they were finally going to do the Robin Williams thing of the things in Jumanji coming out of Jumanji into the real world. And I think that's just always cool to see. And we have Danny DeVito coming back, our characters, and we're going to see The Rock's Dr. Bravestone and see what he's supposed to be like, and not just what, the characters going inside The Rock would act like, right? And so this is, I guess, what Bravestone sounds like.
Found you.
Of course you are.
All right, of course you. He's got that Antonio Banderas thing going on. The Rock is definitely leaning down. I wonder if it's for a role or it's just with age. He's becoming small. That's fine if it's for his health. Let's do it. You can't stay all rocked out forever. But it did catch me off guard when I saw him. I was like, oh, bro, slimming down. Now I see why in Moana they gave him the muscle suit, right? But okay, I was like, all right, this is exactly what I wanted. I like this. And we're seeing even them, they're playing into a funny trope where they move around like if they're video game characters. Very funny stuff. That's how they move, like all NPC-like and things like that. And it'd be funny if they only had like a limited amount of lines that were programmed into the code. All of it, I'm like, okay, yeah, this looks like fun. Let's do it. And then the trailer kept on going, where I was like, what are we doing? As the trailer goes on, they reveal, oh, we're not staying in the outer world the whole time. We're not staying in the real world. We are going back to Jumanji. And we see Spencer's mom get sucked into Jumanji, and she becomes Dr. Bravestone. And it looks like this guy who's like washing dishes, who is obviously her love interest that they have like some tension with, because earlier in the trailer they look at each other and they go, oh, hi, hey Benny, how you doing? Oh, I hope we don't fall in love during this movie. That'd be crazy. I also hope I don't turn into The Rock. I don't know why I said that. And then it's just a shameless repeat of the last two movies, right? It's just them doing this exact scene of, oh my, I have muscles and a penis. Oh Lord, and boobs and all this. I'm like, okay, like this is where it went downhill for me. I was like, no, I was hoping it'd stay in the outworld and that some of the things from Jumanji would come out and things like that. And especially this movie also takes place during Christmas, and I kind of like that vibe for the movie, especially since it's going to come out on Christmas, having all the how do I say, like all the Christmas lights, all the Christmas trees and things like that. But looks like that's only going to be half the movie, and then the other half is the mom. And I also just don't think this will be as funny or as good as the last two times, because they kind of did the best version of this when in the last movie it was Dwayne and Kevin having to imitate Danny DeVito and Chris Glover, right? Or Chris Glover, Donald Glover. Let me look it up. I'm thinking of Childish Gambino here. I'm looking it up here, guys. All that's popped up is Donald Glover. Danny Glover. Thank you, Danny. Danny Glover. But Danny, like those two imitations made the movie funnier and it made it work. And there was the only reason I assume they're doing this is just because that's a core part of these Jumanji movies, is that this whole thing that being inside the game fixes relationships or mends things in a way, and that's the whole point of being in Jumanji, right? That's the game's purpose. And so that's what we're doing here is the mom has this tension with that guy who was cleaning dishes, and they just love each other and they just need to bang it out already. And so the game's like, yeah, I can help you with that. Let me do that for you. And Jumanji open world. So honestly, first half of the trailer I was pretty hyped for. Then the second half I was like, dang, I kind of wish they did something else with it. And the effects of it just look like any stereotypical effects now in big budget Hollywood movies where there's tons of people in the comments. I bet if I scroll now I'd find them when they're like, movie looks AI, let's choose this. So I'm still gonna give it a shot. I still hope it's good. Maybe they're cooking. Maybe this is actually the best version of this movie. But it is going to be the last one. This cast is expensive, and even this movie was really tough to get going just because of how famous all the characters are. So it'll be a nice final hoorah, and I'm sure Sony will probably reboot it in a way where the game evolves again, which I'm curious how the game would evolve, right? Because technically, this video game is still the board game from the Robin Williams movies. It just kind of like switched because it's like, oh, people don't play board games. So to me, I'm like, dang, I wonder what it would switch to if they rebooted again. And my thing is like, it would turn into a phone and like an app on it. And then Jumanji's just an app. And this is why Hollywood never calls me. All right, so Jumanji open world. You guys give me your thoughts on this. What did you think about it? You like the trailer? How do you feel about only half the movie taking place in the real world, the other half looking like we're just going back to Jumanji and rehashing some of those plot points? I'd like to hear from you guys. I'd like to hear from you guys. All right. Someone said W Hollywood for not calling me. Okay. Now I see who the creator of Sun is. Oh boy. And then this next one was a shocking surprise. It got revealed out of nowhere, which on the weekend of Spider-Man Brand New Day, Wonder Man has been canceled. I think that was the wrong one. There we go.
You need to leave!
I could not believe this, especially because it was only a couple of months ago that we actually got the confirmation there would be a season 2, all the positive reviews, and people actually being surprised with the show, me included, when I had like no interest to watch this. In fact, I was going to skip it entirely, and I'm glad I didn't because the show actually turned out being really great. And now it's like not happening anymore, canceled, done. Okay, couple of ways to look at this here. And we're gonna segue into the Blade story too, because that makes things just even crazier to look at with Marvel right now. My first reaction to this was, wow, I guess it's because Destin Daniel Cretton is just that busy. Don't forget, he was the showrunner on Wonder Man, and is probably one of the reasons that show came out great. This guy has the magic touch. Everything that he's put out so far has some sort of heart, has quality to it, whether it's Shang-Chi, Wonder Man, and now Spider-Man Brand New Day. And because of that and that consistency and quality, this man is a hot commodity in Hollywood. I bet he's getting offers left and right, dream projects that he wants to do, and Sony is probably not going to want to let him go. And he's going to move on to the Naruto movie, which, you know what? Not even a Naruto guy, but I actually want to see that movie happen, and I bet it's going to be great because of him. And then after Naruto, he's definitely got to jump back into Spider-Man 5 because, Sony will want to get that rolling. If not that, Shang-Chi 2. A lot of people have been asking, where the heck is Shang-Chi? He could jump into that. To me, it seemed like maybe Kevin Feige going, what is the best use of Destin right now? Is it another show on Disney Plus where we are struggling with viewership? You look at the Daredevil numbers, you look at even the numbers for Wonder Man, good reviews or not, people are not tuning into the Disney Plus content like they did when they first came out. So if he's better used in Shang-Chi 2 or setting up Spider-Man 5, might as well let him do that and not stretch him thin. But I think there's also more, because then you start reading some of these articles and people have pointed, I'm not sure if it even says it in this article, but people have pointed out now, as of right now, after Vision Quest and Daredevil Born Again, there are no new projects for Disney Plus currently announced. And Kevin Feige recently came out and did I think let me see if I can find it. Kevin he came out and said something that I think we hear Marvel say like every like 2 years, but he says that he is focusing back on quality, on things like that. That's disgusting fish. I almost got disgusting fished. But he says that's what they're doing is back to quality. And don't forget, Kevin Feige got a lot more control back with this recent regime because he was forced to do a lot of the Disney Plus content and things like that. Still no excuse for a lot of the things that are happening, but it definitely seems like he's focusing now back on the movies and maybe one Disney Plus show a year. So this Wonder Man situation might not even be a question of its quality, its viewership. It might just be that Marvel's like, we're just not interested in the Disney Plus content right now. We need to focus on building back Marvel in theaters and gaining the trust of audiences that they can come into a film and not have to do tons of homework or feel like they are so behind on stuff because of all the content we put up there. So this might be a restructuring thing from Marvel where they just decide no more Disney. And you know what? I've been begging for that. I've been the number one hater of Disney Plus content. I'm going to give Vision Quest a try and anything else that comes out from, of course, Daredevil Season 3. But I'm telling you, Daredevil Season 3 is also, I think, going to be the last of Daredevil on Disney Plus. I think whatever they do with that character, hopefully will be in the movies. Because, again, the viewership is low. You can look it up, and the Daredevil, both seasons, are just not being viewed that much. And so I think Kevin Feige has seen you're either hurting the brand, which is like Daredevil and Marvel, or you're just putting stuff out there that no one is watching, right? So I feel like this is maybe a casualty in Feige refocusing. Now, in the same article, they mentioned Wonder Man can still show up in other projects, and if they're smart at all, they would, because Yaya was great in this role. And do you guys remember there was like a rumor after this show came out that Wonder Man would be in Doomsday? I'm not even kidding. I don't know how truthful that is, but there was what you call it, reports and stuff. Let me see if I can even find it. No, I'm not showing it. Just other people talking about these things right now. But I remember talking about it because I did it on Side Flick. That look at, there's another one of my cancellations. That yeah, and so I was like, oh, here it is. Yahya Abdul Mateen II will reportedly return as Wonder Man in Avengers Doomsday. I don't know how truthful that is or whatnot, but I mean, after this report that the show is canceled, what would be the next time we see him? I don't know if they'd give him a movie. I don't know if he'd get a special. Maybe an appearance on Doomsday is actually possible after that kind of. I mean, look at Channing Tatum's Gambit. I don't think Gambit was supposed to be in Doomsday, but then Channing Tatum got so much love from Deadpool Wolverine. Feige was like, "All right, let's throw him in there." So, maybe I'd still love to see that character come back, and I hope it's not the final time. But dang, that was really disappointing news because that was honestly a great show and it was such a different vibe. Not every Disney Plus show needed to be like Wonder Man, but I think the one thing that made Wonder Man really special is how it was a guy with superpowers that didn't really want them. Just wanted to be an actor, wanted to pursue that and we're working within the sandbox of Marvel and I thought that was really good stuff. Um but okay, that sucks, right? So yeah, and we'll talk about Booster Gold after all this. I didn't have too much to say because I could just talk about it now. With the Booster Gold, I saw that. But then reports are saying it was just more that they didn't go with that creators. Here goes. This was the showrunner who was working on James Gunn's is the DC's Booster Gold, a show I really want to see because I think Booster Gold would be a fun character. Where he just reemphasized the Mahershala Ali comments that we're about to discuss, saying that, yeah, my Booster Gold's not moving forward. It can't improve on Mahershala Ali's lovely statement, so I'll just leave it there. But when reading other articles, it doesn't look like the show or project is dead, and more that they're just, James Gunn is doing what he says. He's waiting for the best script, the best creatives, and I still believe he has that intention in mind. And yeah, I'd rather see the best version of Booster Gold than just put out something that's haphazardly together, right? So we'll see, but that's really not much else to say. As long as it's not 100% dead, all right, I'll wait for you, Gun. You tell me when you can put out Booster Gold. Because I also feel like this will be the perfect time they reintroduce Blue Beetle, whether it's Ted Cord or Jaime Reyes back in there, just because of their relationship. So that'd be fun. Okay. Along with that, then, the Marvel news went from terrible to so much worse. We had Mahershala Ali come out and just spill out his frustrations with everything going on in Marvel. So, Here he said, here we have it. Mahershala Ali has called out Marvel for Blade never happening. You had me under contract. They have billions of dollars. If they wanted to do the movie, we would have done the movie. I feel ready to move on from the Blade questions. Those questions are for them. And there was more to it than just that. Let's see, here we go. I've been doing this professionally, pushing 30 years now, and one thing I've learned is that what it is for you, sorry, my dyslexia is kicking in. What is for you, and what is not is not. For whatever reason, this project is not for me. And then continuing on. Also, here it says he was training for years. It says here he trained for a year to prepare for Blade. He used swords trainings for the next action film. Your mother, your mother, your mother. Okay. And so I saw that and I was like, I responded and I was like, this is awful. From what I remember reading, he also had to pass on several movies while waiting for Blade. He's got every right to call out Marvel and Kevin Feige for this. And now with Wonder Man, very bad look on their part. And this is true. This does not look good on Marvel with all they're doing. And it's some of these projects I've been really looking forward to that just like end up being pushed to the side or not seen as priorities. And you can't imagine how Mahershala Ali feels when like they just announced Ghost Rider with Ryan Gosling when he's like, that was literally me 7 years ago. What's up with that? But like projects like Wonder Man, Armor Wars, which as soon as they announced War Machine Project, I was like, yes, baby. And now Blade. Yeah, no wonder I was getting called out and canceled because Kevin Feige coming out and saying, "Yeah, it sucks it didn't happen," is not enough when you really look at it from a Mahershala Ali's perspective. This man sacrificed a lot, and he has. And if he sounds angry in these comments, he has every right to because yeah, I did look it back up, and yeah, while he was waiting the 7 years for that movie to finally happen, which it looked like it was close. It wasn't like it was just being dangled. For some reason, it never materialized, but we knew it was close because they hired costume designers because they went as far as to make costumes for the movie, build sets for it. They had music composers, they had scripts, they had a director, and then last minute it didn't happen, and some of those sets and costumes went to Ryan Coogler's Sinners. You're not just doing that if you're just trying to joke around and not actually make this movie happen. Um, but 7 years, he won his Oscar. He got one of the height of his career, was probably getting phone calls left and right about being in this and doing this. And he had to tell them no, because any minute now, Marvel could want me for Blade. And I don't want to miss that chance. 7 years of that, dude. That's a big chunk of your career as an actor in Hollywood. And this industry is all about beauty, age, and things like that. He missed out on a lot of stuff. And that's just not cool at all, and he's every right to be angry. And Marvel and Kevin Feige should definitely be ashamed of themselves in this situation. This also definitely means now his interpretation of Blade or his role as Blade is just never going to happen now. One, because they have waited too long, so he's out-aged the role. Two, Marvel is way too focused on other things with like the reboot, the X-Men, Ghost Rider, things like that. So for the people that were disappointed with Damson Idris not getting Black Panther, okay, well maybe he'll be Blade, right? I still feel like they plan or want to do a Blade movie, but it's just not going to happen for a while. And again, this is also other problems that Marvel was facing in juggling too many things at once. Because again, while it's still very much upsetting about this, Kevin Feige was doing had to restructure the MCU because they changed they changed villains from Kang to Doom. Blade isn't the only one that has been suffering this kind of long delay. Shang-Chi too. It might genuinely be almost like 10 years since that movie came out till we finally get Shang-Chi 2. Doctor Strange 3. No word on when that's going to happen. So Blade isn't the only casualty, but it does kind of make you feel a little sour when they start announcing other projects. They have release dates for them. They say Ghost Rider is 2028. We'll see how that goes. So I definitely feel for Mahershala in this situation. I know it's not. I don't think it's as malice as some people are saying it. It's still definitely Kevin Feige. Has to own up to that. But it's unfortunately the way things go. I mean, even with the Booster Gold situation we're talking about with James Gunn, completely different situation. But that's even just a smaller universe with just some projects, and there's been delays with Waller, with Booster Gold, and the Paradise Lost thing, and so these things happen all the time, but they suck when it really hurts the actors when they could have done other opportunities. So I feel bad for him, but it's also great to start seeing Mahershala on things again. I enjoyed him in the latest Jurassic Park movie, even though some people didn't like that movie. But I thought his character was fun in it, and he's said to be coming back for the next one. And now he's accepting more roles, so we're going to see him. I'm curious about that Your Mother movie. I've never heard of that, and he's going to be doing sword stuff. Hey, if you want to know what he looked like as Blade, there we go. That would have been our shot. But yeah, dude, this is just awful. I really throw it off to you guys. Just what do you think of this? And do you? I again that when we were talking about with the Wonder Man situation, I think Feige is maybe doing the thing where he's like couple projects at a time. We can't be juggling 3, 4, 20 different things because then people like this end up getting nipped. So yeah, you guys let me know. Very crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm curious about it. It says, luckily, Paradise Lost is still in development. Yeah, and even like the Booster Gold thing, it says the project's still happening, but like now they don't know if it's a show, a movie, or when it'll come out. Part of me wonders if it's also James maybe deciding, hey, let's focus on the big guns. No pun intended. Like a Batman, the Green Lanterns, Flash, a Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, and then go back to Booster Gold and things like that. So we'll see. Okay, so there was that. And oddly enough, when there was this like obvious piece out on Marvel, conveniently out of nowhere, we got X-Men casting news. Oh, I wonder what the coincidence of that happening could be. So it was revealed by official trades. This one isn't a rumor. We will talk about the rumored casting choices that look to be legit, but this one is more official than all of them so far because it is coming from Variety, Deadline, and situations like stuff goes, guys. It's very obvious sometimes it is the studio leaking this information. I'm not going to say 100%, but it's not a coincidence that they're like, okay, what can we distract them with? Samara Weaving Emma Frost. Okay, let's talk about that then. So it is being revealed here that for the X-Men reboot, they are looking at Samara Weaving to play the White Queen, Emma Frost. Okay, looking at this and being excited for the X-Men, because I am very curious how they plan to do all that post reboot and explain them and what that'll look like. Because I think X-Men is also one of Feige's like favorite Marvel characters, and it was also like the characters he first started out with in his career. Don't forget, Feige was a producer on the 2000s X-Men movies, so and he wasn't the big dog on those movies. He was like the small fry going, can we get him in the yellow costume? Shut up, Feige, and put on a hat. No one wants to see that head. Okay, origin of the hat, if you didn't know. So he's definitely gonna do his best to try and make these work. Emma Frost was not a character I was expecting in the new X-Men. I remember, and again, I only know so little that she's a telepath and she has the ability to have like the diamond skin, but that's again stuff that we saw in Wolverine Origins and as X-Men First Class. So I was like, okay, interesting. I feel like we got a lot of telepaths going on between, a Jean Grey, whoever that might be played by, a Professor X, and things like that. A lot of telepaths going around. Maybe they'll give us like a tier of like the power of a telepath because she is supposed to be not as strong as like a Jean or a Professor X. But okay, as far as Samara Weaving in this, I am very happy for her. She's definitely one of those actresses that I'm like, I see her in stuff, but I feel the stuff I see her in does not get as much love and her attention. She definitely got it with Ready or Not. Second movie did not get as much love. It was cool that she was in the opening of Scream 6. I like that, but she has yet to really make her staple or get a lot of the love that I think she deserves when being in a Marvel movie that kind of catapults your career. Not as much as it used to, but it at least catapults it in some manner, right? So pretty cool for her, and I think it'd be really cool for the role. Now, aside from that, along with this also confirms something because before the actual official saying that she's in talks to play Emma Frost, there were people who put out actual lists of who the X-Men in the new movie was going to be, and Emma Frost was included in them. So now this kind of pretty much confirms those lists were looking accurate. Don't listen to these casting; these are just people who expressed interest. So let's talk about some of these. So these right now are some of the current ones that are being said by sources I trust. Apoco Horseman was actually the first one I saw saying that Emma Frost was going to be in this movie, and everyone was like, "Why would she be in this? That doesn't make sense." And There you go. Variety's reporting on it. So I'm believing this person a little bit more because it does seem like they have some connection with it. And okay, Charles Melton and Kaylee Spaney could be playing Beast and Rogue. Honestly, was not expecting it as for Beast, but I'm fine with it. At the end of the day, dude's gonna be covered in blue makeup or blue CGI, right? And is wearing a mocap suit. As long as he can pull off saying the big sciencey words, I don't see a problem with it. With Kaylee Spaney, to me, she's just all around a great actress. She's one of those ones that I've really loved seeing, whether it was A24 Civil War, Alien Romulus. I think she's got a great acting ability. I'm just wondering if they're going to give her the country accent, that I'd really like to see it. Maybe she could pull it off. So these casting choices I like. All right, and then we continue on with some other ones. We still have Adam Driver, who is set to play the villain. No idea clearly who he is, whether it's a Mr. Sinister or William Stryker. Does not look like it's going to be Magneto. So anybody who didn't like the Magneto choice, which I actually would have been fine with, but if you didn't like that, does not look like he will be Magneto. And of course, William Metzger, who we're seeing in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Okay, looking at some of these other ones, it is now getting. Good. Okay, it says here it's getting more and more like maybe Cooper Hoffman could possibly be it. Let me see if I bookmarked his actual interview. I did not. Okay, I'll definitely look it up here. Now, I went pretty unfairly harsh on Cooper here, but I've seen a lot of people agree with my sentiment that it's just hard to see him as Cyclops, and it has nothing to do with his weight or things like that. It's just I feel like some of us have like a real clear mind of like what Cyclops could look like, and Cooper just doesn't seem to fit that. But we go back to the Chris Pratt thing of they could lose the weight, they can go through that Marvel regimen and get to that look. To me, at the end of the day, what I hope for in the characters I like is you get an actor that can act. And Cooper Hoffman has shown that in strides. So that is my priority when it comes to casting. And since he can do that, I will let him prove me, I guess, wrong or right, however you want to say it. And then I'm sure he'll be fine. But this is right now is coming from John Roca, who is now responding to this person. Says, well, this is a lie. I said the source I have said Cooper will be Cyclops. I did not definitely say it's 100% the truth, nor did I confirm this with Marvel, which is the only way to confirm. Any X-Men casting come on, guys, do a bit better. Okay, but John Roca does hold some weight when he says things, because don't forget, he was the one that let us know about freaking Hulk and Punisher when I was like, that's ridiculous. So, a little bit of trust, but hey, we'll wait and see. There was, let me see if I can find it now. Cooper does address this yeah, right here. Let me see. This is a recent interview.
As the potential next Cyclops in the MCU, what message do you have to those X-Men fans?
Oh, not gonna be me, but like I love the X-Men, and like not for any reason, it's just not.
And either he's that great of an actor, which I really do believe it, but he sounds genuine here. He feels like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I would love to be Cyclops.
I don't know where this came from. Brits.
Would you be interested if the fans have a say?
Yeah, they don't, but I wish they.
And he even says it right there, they don't. The fans don't want me, but yeah, I'd take it, because who wouldn't, right? The fans would hate me as Cyclops, but if someone called me up and gave it to me, like, I'll do it. I don't care. I want it. I want to be Mr. Scott Summers. But yeah, so we'll see as far as that goes. But okay, getting back to the other casting choices that is going around. So another one that is being added onto this list is Indy Neveretti, because she just did an interview where she said, oh, she would love to play Mystique. Right here, yeah. Indy Neveretti says she wants to play Mystique in the MCU, recently met with X-Men director. I'm going to be honest with you, Indy. Love you, and I actually would think you're great. I think coming out and saying it actually hurts your chances. There's only been a few people in history where they come out and flat out say exactly the role they want and they actually get it. I think sometimes coming out and say it for some reason hurts your chances. I think it was Simu Liu who was like Shang-Chi and he actually eventually got it. Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider. Maybe you'll have it. And I actually could definitely see her as Mystique. I think she'd probably be really cool with that. But also lets me know if she's really talking about this. Maybe the talks didn't end up transpiring. But hey, if they did, I would not be disappointed with this. But it also, from the reports we've been getting, I don't know if Mystique is going to be included in the first X-Men movie. So if she does, hey, maybe the second one or whatever they do continuing on. But that one's not an official one. That one's more of an actor just saying, hey, I'd like to play this, so people added her on. The only other ones that are actually being said by people, let me see here. Yeah, those are just the ones. So this is expected maybe to drop at D23. That's happening August 14th through like the 17th. And yeah, Marvel does tend to have panels and do big reveals even more than San Diego or sometimes CinemaCon. So if there is ever going to be a time that they finally officially announce the cast and who are going to be part of the X-Men, it will most likely be D23, especially since a lot of these names are getting out there and thrown around. They'd like to be in front of the reveal. So, all right, not bad. I honestly, I think whoever they cast will probably be fine. I very rarely in recent Marvel movies have I thought they gotten a casting choice wrong. To me, I'm more curious is the style, the vibe, and the story they're deciding to go with. And the costumes. I mean, you're doing the 90s Cyclops suit in Doomsday. Any chance we get that again in the first Mutants? I doubt it. They're probably going to be in like the yellow and black suits, which, hey, those are cool too. But hey, can we still get that 90s suit somewhere in there? Because it's just cool. But yeah, you guys let me know. How do you feel about some of these casting choices? Who do you actually like? Who do you think works? And do you think we're going to get them revealed at D23? All right. Let me see what else we got going on here. All right. That brings us into the main subject I desperately wanted to talk about. You guys know, giant Nightmare on Elm Street fan. It is my favorite horror franchise of all time. Freddy Krueger is the thing that made me love horror movies, okay? When I was a kid and my dad would bring me home a box of VHS tapes because Blockbuster was getting rid of them and moving to DVD, I didn't have the internet. I couldn't Google things. I would just have to pick up a VHS, pop it in, and start watching. And one of those was Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was so scared to get up from my seat to turn off the TV. I just sat through the whole movie until my dad got home. So I watched Nightmare on Elm Street all alone at like the age of 7, 6. And it's been with me ever since. And so I love this series. And I have been begging for them to do a reboot. So when we heard, what was it now, like 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago now, who knows how long, I have no sense of time, that we were getting a reboot, I thought, finally, I don't care who it is, Paramount, this, that, let's do it. I want to see it. The update we got today, absolutely. This project might be dead. I think I hit the, where is it? Do I even have it here? Yes. I basically got the One Wish Willow wish of the Nightmare on Elm Street because, guys, we're not just getting one. We are getting 2 Nightmare on Elm Street reboots being made simultaneously, competing against each other, and I don't know which one is the one I more want to see. So let's get into this news because it is a doozy of a one. Okay, so this all came out from Puck News, and it says here, Warner Brothers and Paramount are in a heated race on which Nightmare on Elm Street remake will be deeper in development before the merger closes. Warner Brothers Film has Lee Cronin, Evil Dead Rise, in talks to direct. Paramount's film will be a shot-by-shot remake with the blessing of the Wes Craven estate. Okay, I saw that. And guys, I usually don't do this. I wait till like someone drops it or leaks it online. This is one of those articles that's behind a paywall. I paid for the article to go in and read all the juicy details. And my only got worse as I kept reading because there is more to this. So I'm going to go to somebody who actually posted the article for free. Let me see if I can find her. Please tell me. I am not going to be able to find her. Let me get her here. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Here we go. All right. So that way you can actually see these details with me. So thank you. This is another giant Freddy Krueger fan, Deandra Krueger. Follow her if you haven't already on social channels. All she does is talk Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, so let's go through this article, man. Okay, so Elm Street Race. With the prospect of Warner now operating 2 film studios side by side, many in Hollywood have wondered how David Ellison would handle conflict over, say, a hot property. Now the deal on hold conflict has arisen. Paramount has announced a remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street under its Primal banner. But Paramount only has the domestic rights to the property. The international rights happen to be held by Warner Brothers. And that's where the split happens and how these 2 movies are happening. It's not as complicated as the Friday the 13th rights, but basically right now, the way it works, Nightmare on Elm Street is unfortunately divided in two categories: the domestic rights, which are owned now by Paramount. They have the blessing to do domestic, and Warner Brothers, who has the rights to release the film internationally in places like the UK, China, Italy, places like that, right? They have the rights to that. So when Paramount was putting this movie forward, they were in the middle of buying Warner Brothers, and they assumed, hey, by the time we get this movie going, things are happening. We will buy Warner Brothers, and we will own both the domestic and international, and we could just freely release this movie without any legal mess. But if you've been following that buyer merger, there have been lawsuits, there are holds, and now this thing won't go through till 2027. But they're still going to try and make this movie. And Warner Brothers is still right now an independent company with executives and all that. And they're like, hey, if we got international rights, then let's make our own movie and see who can make it first. And that'll be the one we release. And it's just creating a terrible situation. So if the Paramount movie happens, it says here, let's go into this. All right, we'll go into that first. If the Paramount movie actually happens, says sources with knowledge of the matter think Paramount figured that by the time their movie got underway, the Warner Mount deal would have closed and Warner Brothers would be compelled to release the Paramount version overseas. But Warner's Mike DeLuca did not think so. Hang on, let me hear. It's at the very end of the article then. Trying to get to the very end. Sorry, guys. Okay, so it says here, but as Warner sources argued, Paramount's deal confines it pretty much to a shot-by-shot remake. And what's the appeal commercially of that? And the Paramount deal doesn't allow the studio to exploit any merchandise. I think we've got a bit of a race. The Paramount insider said, we're going to do our effing damnness to beat them. And see, this was the thing that when the Paramount news first came out, it did seem like a red flag. Now, we have other people that I do trust and like in the industry. If we go to Dead Central, they have a whole article on it where they say things that they've been hearing is that the Nightmare on Elm Street movie from Paramount wouldn't be an exact remake. But honestly, I'm finding it hard to believe that those reports are false just because of the way the legality of all this works. The reason the Paramount movie can happen is because Mark Tarboff, I think is his name, who is this lawyer that has been going around in Hollywood and saying, hey, it's been 35 years, you can get your script back. Pay me money, and I'll do the legal things to get your things back. He's done it for Friday the 13th, he's done it for other movies, and now Nightmare on Elm Street is one of them. So the Wes Craven estate got the rights back to the original Wes Craven script of A Nightmare on Elm Street, but that's all they own. Freddy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all those movies still owned by New Line and Warner Brothers. They only have the rights to the first movie, which is fine. Unlike the Friday 13 situation, because kid Jason's only a kid in that. He doesn't get the hockey mess, all that. It's much messier. But the first movie of Freddy Krueger, he has everything he needs. His sweater, his glove, his hand, his origin. You can build from there. But now it seems like if he wants to do that movie, it has to be that exact same script. And you can't do anything outside of that. So why would I want to see a shot-for-shot remake? And also, the Paramount movie, because they only have domestic rights, would only release domestically. I don't know how much room that gives them to earn a profit. Probably enough. I think there's probably enough of an audience in the U.S. that would give them, especially if they do a budget like the Halloween 2018 or some of the recent slashers where they're 20, 25 million max. Those movies can make 70, 80, 90 million. That's enough for a profit for them. But vice versa with Warner Brothers. They're racing to make their movie. And they're tapping Lee Cronin, which I'll give my opinion on that in a sec. Warner Brothers only has international rights. If the Warner Brother movie happens without Paramount and they win, that movie can only be released internationally. Meaning us here in the US cannot see the movie. We could talk about how it works on streaming services or being released on VOD or what like that, but at least opening weekend, we will not be part of the fun or the party of the Warner Brothers movie. Instead, that movie will be releasing in the UK, in China, in South America, places like that, and they'll be getting all the Freddy goodness while we're like Squidward looking out the window. That looks like a lot of fun. I'm telling you, that happens, and that movie even looks half decent, I will happily buy a plane ticket to some international market just so I can see my Freddy Krueger movie in theaters. But that is insanity that that is how that works. That this is what's going on. It doesn't. It's the weirdest thing that we have two movies competing side by side. And I also got to tell you, this does not scream quality. This does not scream like we're making a Freddy Krueger movie because we have a story to tell. We actually have a vision. We're gonna do something unique with it, and we're gonna bring it back for the new. No, it's only about the money, being about first, who can get the eyeballs to see it first in theaters. And I'm like, that doesn't usually produce a good movie. In the past, you look at the films that have been rushed out to keep legal rights or to, I mean, look at that Fantastic Four movie that never got released that they had to make just to keep the rights, right? That I think you can watch for free on YouTube. It never goes the right way. So guys, this is a situation where I just don't see how this is going to end well for us Freddy Krueger fans. This is a terrible situation. Like, I am so heartbroken this is how Freddy Krueger is being treated right now. I don't want the shot for shot remake. We basically got that with the 2010 movie. It wasn't shot for shot, but they did the basic story of the first movie and recreated all the iconic moments. Why would I want to see that done a third time? No. Now the Lee Cronin side of things, I was happy with Lee Cronin after Evil Dead Rise. And I remember he did interviews where he's like, I'd love to do a Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was like, yeah, give it to him. He seems like he'd be visceral and add all this flair and fun to it. And The Mummy kind of soured me on him. I think maybe, that was a one-time thing. He just ended up making, maybe they told him to make basically Evil Dead with the Mummy, who knows. So I'm willing to I'm cautiously optimistic if he ends up getting, Nightmare on Elm Street. I feel like there could be at least a lot of split diopters. Let me tell you that. If the Mummy's anything to show for it, we get a lot of split diopters. But it doesn't absolutely make me jump up and down. So this situation is just awful, man. It's so crazy the kind of stories that we get to see happen. So this right now is the situation, and I mean, this is like a small casualty of the Warner Brothers and Paramount merger. Like, there are much bigger things, and this is a champagne problem at the end of the day because there's people losing their jobs and there's more issues with controlling media and things like that. But it's so crazy. This is like when Disney was trying to get X-Men from Fox, but there was so much more to them buying Fox. I just don't know what'll happen, man. If I really had to choose, I'm going with the Lee Cronin movie just because I at least know that probably won't be a shot-for-shot remake. That'll be something different. I just don't want a modern remake shot for shot of Nightmare on Elm Street. That movie's already great, and I'm just so soured on remakes in general, like the Moana movie. Oh man, I'm hoping that again, like the reports from Dead Central are true, where they were saying that no, we have heard that it actually won't be a shot for shot remake, that there actually will be more to it. I'm hoping that's true. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. There is one point in the Puck piece that I'd push back on, though. The suggestion that Paramount is somehow limited to making a shot-by-shot remake because of its deal isn't my understanding of the situation. From everything I've heard, the agreement requires the new film to originate from Craven's original script, but that's very different from saying the finished movie has to recreate the 1984 film scene for scenes. Those two are completely different. And again, I'm hoping that's the case because that's the movie that I can see because it'll be released domestically, that they just have to stay within the confines of what that original script had, but they can play around with it. They could still do the origin. They can have it in modern day, but they can maybe insert new things that wasn't done in any of the other 6 or 7 movies, right? So I'm hoping that that Dead Central is right on this, but we shall see, guys. So yeah, it's a very sticky, bad situation. I'm disappointed with all this Nightmare on Elm Street stuff, but hey, I mean, I guess beggars can't be choosers. I've literally been begging for this Nightmare on Elm Street movie to happen for decades. So at least I'm getting it, right? Monkey paw wish. You guys hear all these details and informations. Which would you rather happen? What do you think the turnout will be? It'd be crazy if both movies come out because they're making it sound like whoever just finishes the movie first. But I'm like, if you're halfway through a movie and they just happen to be 80% done, well, you're still going to finish your movie. You're not just going to be like, they beat us, guys. I don't know. I feel like we might actually get 2 Freddy movies at the same time. Yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this because I just think, yeah, exactly. Somebody get these beggars out of here. Definitely. Definitely. All right. That was all our main topics for today's Aside Flick. Let's see here what you guys have. It's probably gonna be nothing but Sun memes. Oh my, why is Sun in the back rooms? I am a freaking Sun. Have you guys seen those memes? Oh my goodness. I have to bring some of these up, guys. I cannot. There have been memes made of of Kane Parsons the backrooms that are some of the funniest things I have ever seen. I hope I don't get copyrighted, but you know what? We have to play some of these because these are just making me laugh so hard. Okay, I think. uh, Okay, I'm downloading some of these and we're gonna bring these up. I'll probably just watch one of them, but I was flabbergasted by some of these. Maybe you guys have seen some of these. I don't know why this is a thing, but people have started re-editing a scene from the back rooms to just completely mix up the context to make no sense whatsoever. And I am dying of laughter through. I'm overhyping it, but it was funny to me. Okay. At least here I can control the volume. Please don't copyright me at Backrooms 824.
I haven't had a drink since Friday.
I know.
I look like shit.
I know.
I found something in the store.
I know. I know. I know.
I found a plate.
I know.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I know. I know.
I know the movie. The comment, I should have had the comments too, but the comments are always like renaming the movie. I know. I know. There's more. There's more. We're gonna go through these. I don't care if y'all find these cringe. This to me is peak comedy. I cannot believe it. Okay. Let's open this one, I believe. Okay, there's a new one. Open with QuickTime. Okay, this is the next one here. Okay, got it. Let's do it.
I found a place.
Okay.
Oh,
A place.
it's like a store.
What did you find?
A store.
Okay.
The store just keeps selling furniture.
Sorry, I'm not following you. Is this a store?
Okay, so why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just trying to understand.
Oh,
Are there any people?
like hundreds of people. It's like a maze. It just goes on and 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 on.
Bro,
and on.
goon mid-session. That part takes me out. Bro just started gooning.
Looking at me like that.
I'm just trying to understand.
Oh,
Are there any people?
like hundreds of people. It's like a maze. It just goes on and on and on.
It's the craziest, dumbest thing. I know it makes no sense. I know maybe that isn't funny to some people, but to me, I like saw this at 2 a.m. scrolling my phone when I should be asleep, and I could not stop laughing. I thought it was the funniest thing. Okay, back to it. The goon rooms. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, here we go. Why is Sun in the back rooms? Oh, 3C films when my parents walk in. Hey man, that's just my legs. What do you want? What do you mean? I could do it right now if you want. No, nobody wants me to? Okay, that's fine. Oh god, here we go. Self-proclaimed Spider-Man fan. I've always been honest about this whole thing is hilarious. If you guys have not watched it, go to Waffello's channel. I was part of a Spider-Man trivia. I really did not know I was gonna do this. I showed up and they're like, "Oh, we're doing this trivia thing," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't prepare. I didn't study." And I know this video is going to be analyzed and used against me because of that. And I'm panicking, dude. I have unk brain. You watch this video, you can see my unk brain where I don't know how some of these people, they ask a question and it takes them 0.5 milliseconds to be like, October 31st, 2029. And my brain's still like SpongeBob filing through information going, oh, yeah, it's not this, not this. So I just blurted out random things.
It was very embarrassing. What did I say? I said something so stupid, didn't I?
Jacob Battle. Jacob Battle. I just blurted out the most Jacob Battle.
It's way harder than you think, guys. It's because you feel the pressure of everyone's gonna answer everything. I did have one that no one had though. I was good, but that definitely was, yeah, that was definitely embarrassing. There's an update for the Alvin and the Chunks movie. It seems the AI use has been debunked. Okay, it says, I'll just read this part. Michael Byrne has reached out with a new message from Ron. I'm censoring his Instagram info and will not be sharing. He reached out in privacy's sake, but I can confirm this. Okay, well, if he debunks it, I'll look at it. But I mean, him hiding that who it comes from makes me question legitimacy. But hey, if the new Chipmunks movie doesn't use AI, I'll be curious to see it. I'm still not crazy about the whole turning them into influencers, but okay. Did they change the trailer? Not Son in the new Avengers. Son. He will save us all. All right, buddy. Now you're starting to scare me. Okay. We're moving on. 4 canceled. Yeah. I don't know if the Dynasty is more canceled more instead of reworked, but yeah. Well, it really sucks. Oh, Sun Black Suit. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I also don't like the look of open world here. Like they're very clearly on a gigantic green screen, and I just hate that look in a lot of the big blockbusters. Oh, Fantastic Four. Oh. Got Philippines. Oh, nice. Look at that little bucket and stuff that comes with. That's cool. Screen froze at the perfect time. And that's how I became Son. Wi-Fi hates Chris. What? Oh, was it just me? Was it? Oh, so all of you guys froze at the same time? My bad. I wonder what I was talking about. I hope you guys are still here. I don't want to do any No Way any Brand New Day spoilers. Chris, you might like this. Okay. Well, that was loud. Is there any way to turn down the volume? I don't see the volume. Oh, there it is. Unk did not have eyes.
Nope. No, I can't.
I
I'm sorry, but I can't.
Later.
City's lost.
You know what?
GG.
You got this.
No,
GG.
I can't. It's the Hulk.
He's right there.
Well, yeah, I see him.
You're
He's
right
very
here.
large. Why don't you do it?
What am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do?
I'll stop him.
What?
I'm not giving up on my city, no matter the odds.
You're gonna die.
This is a great idea. You got this, man.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Get him. Get him, Daredevil.
Go
Got it.
running. We just send a blind man to go fight the Hulk.
Mess him up. Oh. Matt's dead.
R.I.P.
Oh, cherry on top. That actually was pretty funny. That's cool. Imagine if. I wouldn't mind it. I know he's the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and stuff, but maybe post-reboot. I wouldn't mind it. Rumored cast for X-Men. Okay. I would swear I was going to see Sun in there somehow. Interesting.
I just can't get over how well your boys get along.
Well, Larry, we run a pretty tight ship around
Oh! Oh my God! Oh my W post!
Yeah, I love it for Samara Weaving. I did see this earlier. I can't watch it all because it does get a copyright strike, but it's just me in my moments. Oh, that's me with the substance. That's me shooting substance. What the? Insanity. All right, great stuff. Let's go into the viewer submitted questions. John Krasinski as Mr. Negative. I mean, they're the same person. Let's see. Okay. All right, Chris. Mario or Sonic? Movie, games, etc. I think you're going to have to go Mario. Although I will say I am enjoying the Sonic movies way better than the Mario movies, especially that last one. The Sonic movies have only gotten better. And I do like Sonic, but I like the early Sonic games, but I like a lot more all the Mario games from all the eras. And I do like the first Super Mario movie. So I'm going to have to go Mario. I know that's going to be a maybe controversial take. Chris, love you, buddy, but I will die on the hill that The Last Jedi ruined Star Wars. Keep up the great work. It did ruin Star Wars, but not for the reasons you think. It ruined it because it showed the fan base cannot handle something different and new. And so we got Rise of Skywalker that had to retcon, rewrite, and do things for nostalgia and references. And that's all the franchise has been. I still wish whenever I watched The Last Jedi, they actually did the thing of like, I wish Rey took Kylo's hand and they just run with that. They just take my hand together. We can run. Yo, you're still holding on. I love that. I thought it was good stuff. I really would have liked to have seen what they would have done if everybody didn't panic or the fan base didn't panic with that movie. Are you going to be checking out Soulmate? I think so, but I am behind on some stuff. I still have to watch Pinocchio. I've been meaning to. It's just the Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I mean, after this weekend, I'm still planning to film my theory video on what will happen in Spider-Man 5 and things like that. So I will, but that might be on the backlog. It's not even getting a theatrical release either. Hey, Chris, as a huge Spider-Man fan, I wish Spidey actually fought his rogue gallery, sorry, instead of montage cameos. Took me out of the film, but still 8 to 10. I mean, yeah, and I talk about that in my spoiler review, so if you want more of my thoughts on that in detail, yeah. I'm not going to answer any in-depth thoughts of Spider-Man Brand New Day right now, guys, because I just don't want to ruin it for anybody watching and things like that. Destin Daniel Cretton for young adult prequel reimagining of the Terminator series. You know what? I think they should redo something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm excited for the RoboCop series. I feel like that could actually be kind of cool. I know they talked about it like several times that it's in the works, but I think now it's finally actually going to happen. As a beginner, I pressure myself when recording and editing because I want my videos to be as good as yours. Any advice? I saw like it would take me forever to find it. While don't strive for perfection while don't strive for laziness and just pooping out content, I don't think you should strive for perfection either, okay? A lot of how I've built my channel, and even to this day, it's not perfect. There's a lot of mistakes I make, a lot of opinions I give that make people upset, but I mean, just make it the best of your ability and put it out there. If you stay too long focusing on perfecting and nitpicking, you're never going to be putting out your stuff, which I should take my own advice on that. Been wanting to get into the MCU, only seen the first few movies. It's too late for someone to start all the movies so far. What do you think would be the best order to watch them? I think in release order. I know there's probably some sort of chronological or this movie came out this. Just watch them in release order. And no, you're not too late. This Feige's talking about they still want this to go on to the year 2040. So hey, man, catch up and then join us for the ride. Okay, just me. I'd look at the Disney Plus shows and which ones you're actually curious about. Watch those. Other ones, maybe a new rock stars or heavy spoiler video will get you taken care of. Was kind of disappointed with Brand New Day. Villains were awful. It's good, but could have been better. Also, there's a point on the Reddit showing a quick cameo in it. Again, yeah, I talk about that in spoiler review, and I don't completely disagree with you, but there are things about the villain that work for me, but I understand the underwhelming feel or the backlash some have been having with that. Son, did you catch, see, this is another point about Brand New Day, just gonna have to skip it, unfortunately. Gonna watch Brand New Day on Sunday. Should I bring tissues? Yes, but not for crying. Even though I didn't get to go to the premiere, I still love Brand New Day. Thanks, Tracy, for the content. I'm sure if I didn't go to the premiere, I'd still love the movie. If anything, I shouldn't say this. I've been to a couple movie premieres, and I'm very grateful for the invite, Sony, and that I got to go in because I was begging. I was emailing around and saying that premiere was not handled the best. It was one of the sloppiest premieres I've ever been to. I think they told me to come at this time, and I had to wait in the hot sun for 2 hours before we can be let in. The movie started 2 hours later than it was supposed to, so you could feel it in the audience. They were all pretty tired, especially since it's a 2 hour and 40-minute long movie. Again, not to be ungrateful, but it's an opera house, and the seats I have, there is the second floor above me. And so, okay, so here's my vision. Here's the second floor. The second floor kind of actually hindered a couple bit of the screen, so I had to watch the movie kind of like this. There was a lot when watching Brand New Day where I was like, I kind of just maybe should have watched this at my Dallas press screening. But hey, at the end of the day, it was still an unforgettable experience, and I was so happy to do it. Bucket list item to go to a Spider-Man one. I think the only other movies that I have a bucket list, really would love to go to a premiere, used to be Scream. We'll see if that feeling ever comes back, but now definitely Nightmare on Elm Street, a Chucky movie, really, that's about it. Spider-Man was like the big one. There's like I just always wanted to be at a premiere. Always wanted to be a premiere. Let's see here. The way Peter runs from MJ having a new boyfriend, that's me, every girl in high school already in a relationship. Since that's in the trailers, I will allow it. But yeah, that was a heartbreaking moment when he watches MJ with her boyfriend. When are you bringing back 3C merch? I own some 3C Chucky Boy merch. Hey, you're an OG. With this rebrand and stuff, I'm definitely looking into maybe putting some merch. A lot of you guys have asked for it. I'm just terrible with the logistics of that. And I also just want to make sure if you're actually spending money on something for me, that it's worth your time. So, but I am looking into that, yes. With Ghost Rider coming out, how many more projects before Midnight Suns? Should it be Avengers level threat? I mean, if they're wanting to do that, I feel like maybe they need to get away from that formula. And I actually hope the next phase of Marvel is a lot more standalone, where every movie isn't like adding into the bigger universe, but instead we're just like watching a story contained of this character. They just happen to be in the MCU. You know what I mean? I'm feeling like kind of nostalgic for the days where it was just like, oh, it's the Ghost Rider movie and only Ghost Rider exists in this universe. Obviously, they're not going to do the only exist, but you know, in that sense. So I don't know. Oh, Batman, you're right. Batman would be up there, mainly to take my dad as for a premiere because he's the big Batman guy. So that would be great to go to a Batman premiere just so I could bring my dad. Do you have plans for Halloween Horror Nights this year? I would love to, but it's not looking likely. Just with the baby, and I've honestly been a little selfish with the amount of traveling I've been doing. I really told myself I wasn't going to go do much things this year so I could stay home with my kid. And to be fair, whenever I do have an event, I go the day of the event, and I literally fly back the next morning. So I'm only gone for a day, but it's still like, hey, a kid, you have to watch him 24/7. And my lady, although she gets help from family members and stuff, it's still there. So like, I don't think I'll go to Halloween Horror Nights this year, unfortunately. But I was really curious about that Hellraiser house. That's honestly the one that got me the most excited. I'd love to be in that house and to punish me. Come on, Pinhead, smack me with the chains. Yeah. Take Emilio. I just traumatized my child early. Take it in, son. This is your life. Congrats on going viral this week, son. I could not believe that had me going viral. And Sinners too. They're gonna play the music from that one scene, so that'll be a cool one. Alien and Romulus 2. No, you're lying. Where is this coming from? No, 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 no. Don't say that to me, buddy. I want to see what she said. Aggressively nodding, chef's kiss, flowers throwing. Oh, nice. Alien Romulus 2. You're lying. I don't see it. No! Let's read this article. No! What? Oh man, it's probably because David Johnson is now famous and he's Black Panther. He can't do everything. No. Let me read this article. Last we heard, 20th Century was still in search of the director for the next. I thought they already announced him. But the process has been, shall we say, difficult. When you have Ridley Scott as a producer and creative consultant, one cannot always expect smooth sailing. Last year, Freddy Alvarez, who helmed Alien Romulus, was in pre-production on the sequel when suddenly exited the project. And I heard the rumors of why. We'll talk about that in a sec. Did Alvarez step aside voluntarily, or was it a friction behind the scenes with 20th Century or even Ridley Scott? Some are pointing to the latter. The studio then approached another Evil Dead director, Sebastian Vennet. I can't say his last name, but I liked Evil Dead Burn. But talks eventually fell apart. Dang, he would have been great for that. Maybe Scott interfered again. Who knows? I've been sitting on this story for a while, mostly because it came from a single source, albeit one of the most reliable ones. But with David Johnson having been cast as Black Panther, Kaylee Spaney potentially as Rogue, and Brian Duffield writing a separate Alien movie for 20th Century, the writing seems to be on the wall. I'm told that Romulus sequel has been indefinitely shelved and might never happen. There are too many obstacles to overcome, and Scott's hands-on involvement has become too much. Alvarez wanted to bring back... See? Ah, no! Michael Fassbender, David, for his sequel, which the actor partially signed on, and a final draft of the script was written, but then Scott refused to have David, a character he created, involved in it. Oh, when I get my hands on you, Ridley Scott. Oh, man, no. Dude, what are we doing? I'm so disappointed. Okay, I know there were some people that didn't like Alien Romulus, and I genuinely can't believe there were people who saw this movie and they were like, it's a Marvel nostalgia bake reference callbacks. Alien Romulus was great. Was it the best Alien movie? No. But I thought it mixed in some of the best elements of the entire series, did some new things, brought in some great actors, and I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was awesome. And so when leaning into a sequel, that was my number one wish. It was, hey, now that you have David Johnson as this was it Andy, I believe, as the robot, hey, let's have him go up against David, Michael Fassbender's character, and do like a David and Goliath story, right? You could even call it Alien Goliath. And that would be so cool because David Johnson's robot is like this low tier level robot that was only ever made to work at junkyards and things like that. But now he's evolved, he's changed, he's upgraded to go up against one of the most advanced versions that's created the alien and is basically genociding around planet to planet. I wanted that. But I guess Ridley is so protective of David and what he's created, and he was still hopeful that they could make his third Alien movie we never got. This would have been the best way to merge things and have it going. I'm so disappointed. I'm so mad. I really like this movie, man. I really wanted it to happen. Okay. Well, at least not all the Alien films are done. I didn't know about this, or maybe I did, that there's another Alien movie being written, but you can't blame him. Freddy was trying to give us probably what a lot of us wanted, and then when he was told no, he's like, well, this isn't the movie I want to make pass, and now they're working with they've waited too long, they've stalled, and now their cast is about to be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're going to be too busy. Movie can't happen. Alien Romulus is a one and done. Next Alien film is going to be starting with brand new characters, brand new story. This super chat ruined my night. Thanks, boss. Thanks. Freddy doesn't do sequels, but he was willing to do this one. It looked like he was totally up for it, probably because, again, that's such a great idea to have David in there. But yeah, someone said, sorry for your loss. Yes, Alien Brand New Day. Man, I'm so disappointed. I was very, I think that would have been cool. All right, well, hey, now we know. Reed, if you're watching, buddy, let's make that a clip on the Clips channel, because that's a story, all right. 3C, I love the rebrand, but please take off the sensual whisper in the intro. I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this. I've got plans for that whisper. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? I knew the whisper was not going to be popular. In fact, I would even say the whisper was not my idea. This was all thanks to Jake Prime, who helped me out make the audio, which, hey, if you guys don't know Jake Prime, he is the editor and works for the Escape Pod. That's how I actually got the intro made. I was at the Escape Pod house for the Tom Cruise movie Digger, and when we were hanging out there, I told him how badly I really wanted to make an intro for my channel, and he's like, you know I do music, right? Like, that's my thing. I edit for the Escape Pod, but I actually make music on the side. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we could probably bust it out right now. I was like, no way. And yeah, we went into his room and he just started doing his magic. It was like watching, you know, I don't know, Dr. Dre at work. It was crazy. And it was actually his idea to add the whisper. And I was like, isn't that a little cheesy? I don't think my audience is like that. But I have plans with it. There are things. It won't always be like that. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. But for now, the whisper is kind of sticking around. Did you see that the Alien Romulus sequel is rumored to have been shelved? Going to sleep, I'll finish the live. Yeah, oh, dude, I just had a crash out. I just had a meltdown. Someone said, yeah, the whisper sucks. He's going to jump scare us. Someone said, just not your vibe. I feel like that's exactly my vibe. Is it not, to be like a little cringy and like, isn't that so cliche to be like, 3C films? But again, I'll explain further on and you'll get it soon. Probably the next side flick. Okay. It's my birthday on Tuesday. Can I get a happy birthday for Tim? Happy birthday, Tim.
It's my birthday!
Oh, I'm not getting rid of it. There is an evolution and there's a thing to it. You will see. You will see. While Chris didn't get canceled, Blade did. So awful, man. I hope we still get a Blade movie someday, though. What do you think Spider-Man Brand New Day would have been like if it was directed by John Watts? You know what? Maybe I would have liked it more, and maybe John would have not liked it more, but maybe I would have just as much liked it, if not maybe a little less. But I think maybe John himself, after doing 3 movies, maybe he would have wanted a reinvention in himself and address some of the complaints from his trilogy. Maybe he would have done something different, but I think a lot of my complaints for Brand New Day, which I do have some, you can watch my spoiler review, would probably be more amplified because there wouldn't be so much of the great swinging, great camera work, the color palette. It's just, yes, the Brand New Day is still flawed in ways, and there's still room for improvement, but it's finally giving me things I've been wanting from Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I can let go of some of those things, and they don't completely ruin my enjoyment of that film. A lot of us expect some of these movies nowadays to be 10 out of 10's perfect when they're not. You know, they're going to have their flaws, they're going to have their issues, and the issues it does not ruin how I felt about Brand New Day. Rank all 10 Atari movies from Universal based on your interest in seeing them. Oh my god, I'll tell you the top 5 I want to see, buddy. I don't even know some of these games by heart. How would you do a Pong movie? That would be crazy. Let's do a Centipede movie. Missile Command could probably work. And I'll be honest with you, buddy. Asteroids. Everything else, I don't know. I'm Unk, but I'm not that Unk, man. Did you know that this Sunday is the 10-year anniversary of the book It Ends With Us? Unlike your wife, I'm not a reader. I've never read any Colleen Hoover books. I just watched movies based on her books, and that's fine, man. You know, Colleen Hoover's the new, what was that guy's name? Nicholas Sparks. I remember in high school, it was Nicholas Sparks everything. That's the guy who had I don't know, he had 40 romance books. I think he's the one who did The Notebook. So then you had just every single one of his books turned into a movie. But yeah, this meme of Chris is getting so many views, likes. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Holland or someone in Brand New Day would see it. Yeah, I hope not. I'd hate for that to be their first impression of me. 3C lore about injuries. I've been lucky enough, knock on wood, to never. Okay, I think I've maybe told this story before, but I'll tell it again. That's my biggest injury. 3C lore about injuries. I've never broken an arm. I've never broken a leg. I still hope that never happens, especially at my old age. It would be such a horrible recovery period. So thank goodness. The only time I really injured myself and quite possibly almost made myself blind, you can blame Back to the Future for this. So obviously you guys know, big Back to the Future guy. And I'm noticing a pattern with movies almost killing me as a kid, that I need to be careful what I show my son Emilio, because if he has my genetics, he's going to do the same thing. But I've mentioned before, this isn't the story, but I'm just giving you some context. I mentioned as a kid, and it's so funny, my dad brought this story up just the other day to my lady while he was here watching his grandson. So I can't even spell Tarzan. When I was a kid, I saw Tarzan in the theaters, the Disney movie. So what year did that come out? Let me see. 1999. Oh, okay, so I was 4 years old when Tarzan came out. Okay, I was 4 when Tarzan came out. Went to the theater to go watch it, and I obviously loved it. I thought it was great. But you know, you're a kid, you don't understand things. And if you remember, at the end of Tarzan, the villain dies basically by getting choked by a bunch of vines. And as a kid, you can't perceive what choking is if you've never gone through it or experienced it or even know what that word is. And so I had one of those mini basketball hoops in my room, that a kid plays with. It's extremely similar to this. And I was just curious why he was in so much pain or what was going on. So I stuck my head through the hole of the hoop and I started spinning, eventually choking myself, trying to understand what the villain of the movie was going through. And I am lucky my mom or my dad, whoever it was, walked by at the right moment, and they untangled me, and they were like, ¿Qué estabas haciendo? What were you doing? Okay, part 2 of that story, and this is another real story, and I'm ashamed to admit I was a lot older. I had to have been like 8 or 9 years old. This time, it's a family party. And just like I am now, I like to think of myself as the class clown of the family or in school, right? So it's a family party. I believe it's a Christmas party too. And we're all dancing in the living room. We're all, da, 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 da. And I think it was like a little guitar song. And so I thought of the scene in Back to the Future where Marty McFly is on the guitar, and if you remember, he does the whole like vroom and jumps on his knees kind of thing. I was young, I could handle that then. I can't do that now. But I was doing that, and then I started sliding my knees and going like this over and over, just as hard as I can, and sliding forward at the same time on my knees. So I'm going like this, pretending I have a guitar, sliding forward and forward. And well, what happens when I'm gonna ruin that. When an immovable object meets an immovable force? I don't know what I was trying to say there. Well, I eventually landed on the corner of a wooden chair. I'm trying to find an example, but just this part right here. This part right here. Wooden chair just like this. And I am going full speed moving forward. And I eventually get close enough that this eyeball goes right into that corner of the wood chair. Boy, did that party end. I wish my family saved photos of it. I wish I had a look of it, because guys, it was bad. It was horrible. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny because I am the Chucky guy, but I swear to you, it looked like Chucky's look in Bride of Chucky. It was that bad. It looked real. My eye was purple. My eyeball was sunken in. The way Chucky's eye looks kind of right here, that's how my eye looked. It was bad. And I couldn't see out of that eye for like a couple days. It was pretty scary. I had like bleeding and things like that. And it was so funny too, because I think it's the only times I've ever blacked out. Because I remember doing that, hitting the chair, feeling the impact, and then I woke up on the couch, party all stopped, family members all around me, and a frozen bag of peas just on my eyes, and I'm like, Who turned down the music? We making lunch? What's the peas for? It was bad. So that's probably the worst injury I've ever had. That is a real story that actually happened. Luckily I never sustained any like scars or things from it, but like dude, I'm so lucky that nothing bad happened. But yeah, that was bad. That's the most I've ever injured myself. Bro almost became Cyclops. I was just trying to do, yeah, exactly. All right. What was the video that got taken down because you said the name of that one creepypasta, which you were not allowed to say, so you ended up calling it Big I Bet? It was just I don't even know if I still have the video up. Well, I don't want to show my analytics and stuff, but it was just the announcement of that movie. I did not know that there was rules against saying that name because there was trend going around where kids were hurting themselves, and so they just banned it entirely on YouTube. But it was just that when they announced the movie, I was like, hey, they're making this movie. And it got a lot of views because it was a popular meme or creepypasta at the time, and urban legend or whatever. But it got demonetized after as soon as I uploaded, so I earned no money from that. Which holiday do you prefer, Halloween or Christmas? Honest, it's Halloween. Christmas is still beautiful and it's a great time and it is up there. But I really like Halloween as well. And honestly, hey, not to brag to y'all, Halloween and Christmas the next couple years is about to become the most beautiful thing again for me because now I have a child. I was starting to feel it like some of you. I try to have fun on the channel, but it gets to us. We grow up and Halloween and Christmas just doesn't feel like it used to when we were kids, right? Now it's going to feel like that because I'm going to be able to see it through my kid's eye and live through and bring that magic to them, right? So I'm very excited for that. Eventually Halloween Horror Nights with him. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Will you do Spider-Man Brand New Day live stream this weekend? Yes, Sunday. I need to figure out the exact time, you know, because Sundays usually are family days. But this is a big movie, and a lot of you guys want to get your points out there. So I will have to see what time, but I will post it on the community page, so you'll see it, and that way we know. If anything, it'll definitely probably be again like 6:30 Central Time, 6:30 Central Time. So convert that to your time zone. 6:30 Central Time, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Sunday. Oh no. Chris, what's your favorite Spider-Man extended media outside the movies? That includes animated series, shorts, Electric Company live show, and so on. I mean, it's probably Spectacular Spider-Man. I like that one the most. Close second would probably be like Insomniac. I do like the 90s series, but I connected so much more to the Spectacular series. So those are the ones I'll go with. Is Spectacular Spider-Man and then the Insomniac world. Chris, Hotel Transylvania 5 has a release day. Ned CEO. Oh, that's cool. I can't believe how much they're just busting out these Hotel Transylvania movies. But at least they're like progressing, right? Like, are we now going to see that little kid be a little older, maybe be a teenager now? It's crazy how there's actual development in that. Son will return. Watched Spider-Man last night, and it's 10 out of 10. Cinema. TASM 2 is my favorite movie of all time. That's right. I said it. I can't. Hey, you're fine, man. It has high highs, still visually my favorite looking. I'm kind of like you, Joshua, where sometimes I think to myself, yeah, dude, forget the TASM haters. I love TASM 2. That movie rules. Screw you guys. Then I sit down and watch TASM 2, and then the things I really don't like about it just peek their head through, and I'm like, no, I guess some of the hate it gets is warranted. But it's those high moments and those moments that I think are great where I'm like, this movie has moments. Love the new 3C intro. Give me nostalgic vibes to the old You Should Be Watching Funimation intro. Funny enough, the thing I told Jake Prime whenever we were making it, he was like, what do you want to have it sound like? These were the two inspirations for the intro. One was the PlayStation 1 sound effect. So you guys like right here, this part right here. Oh, I love that sound so much. I know it's not movie related, but I love that. So like I kind of gave him that as a basis of where to go with it, and he went from there. The other inspiration, I don't know why, because I was like, there's no way this could work, but I like this sound, the the teachy egg sound. Like I'm levitating. I don't know why. I like that sound too. So those were some of the things I gave to him, as in like, I don't know, is there something you could make with this? And he worked his magic, and I feel like you can find moments of that sprinkled throughout the through the thing. So those are kind of the ones I gave him. The loudest sound ever. Yeah. Straight anxiety. Put Joker as the main character in Batman 2. Haven't really seen their dynamic since 08. I mean, it has been a while, but we get so much Joker stuff. And I mean, we kind of did see their dynamic in the Snyder version a little bit, you know, moments of Suicide Squad and moments of the Snyder cut. I'm okay with them waiting for like the third movie, especially if Matt Reeves really wants to do something special with it. But I feel like he might be part of it. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just, if the rumors were true that we heard, you guys, if you remember, we talked about this. I don't know if it was on stream or on the channel. We heard rumors that part of this movie, Bruce Wayne might be sent to Arkham Asylum and he has to like find his way out. I kind of like that idea. I obviously wouldn't want the whole movie to him be in Arkham, because I want him to be in the bat suit and I want to see him as regular Bruce Wayne in like, you know, charity events or things like that, acting that persona as well. But if a chunk of the movie is in Arkham and he has to find his way out and he has to like befriend you know, Victor Zsasz or the Joker and accidentally gets them out as well, and that's a consequence of him having to find them. I don't know. I wouldn't mind that. I noticed that Colin Hanks, the actor who played the character that was stuck in the Jumanji video game for 20 years, isn't in Jumanji Open World. What do you think Nick Jonas will do since he's in the new Jumanji movie. I mean, I don't. I think they just include him in there. I really wouldn't know what else. I didn't see Nick Jonas at all in the trailers, but I mean, just have him included in there. I mean, he's a character in the video game, so you could just have his NPC walking around acting the way that's supposed to. Really would not know how to tell you. Hey Chris, what do you think of Spider-Man's webbing? The way it's used in Brand New Day, I like it. You know, it's very gooey and gushy. I kind of do like. I'll bring this up in my theory video. I'll bring up my theory video, but I do like the new webs, the organic webs. Chris, I hate how everything is becoming a meme. Hope I'm not making you upset. Nah, it's okay. I mean, things are just meme, but I don't know. There's some funny ones. There's some not some funny ones. There's a lot of stuff out there. People just want to laugh, and we need that. Hey, Papa Chris, love the new intro you got. Very catchy. Thank you. I saw Supergirl, and I didn't think the movie was bad. I kind of thought it was mad because it was a soft heart of. I agree. I don't think the movie is bad. I just think it's very average, and in this day and age, we just don't need average in our comic book movies. We do need something that gives us reason to go to the theater, and not something just like, oh, that was fine. But I agree with you. It's not like all terrible, but I kind of was expecting more, especially from the source material. I still like Millie Alcock as Supergirl, and I can't wait to see how they include her in Man of Tomorrow. Very excited for Man of Tomorrow. How would you rank your excitement for the 3 upcoming Robert Eggers projects after Werewolf, The Night, A Christmas Carol, and Labyrinth movie? Yeah, those all did get announced, right? I don't know much about The Night, so I'm gonna go Labyrinth movie, The Night, and then Christmas Carol, just because I'm just not excited about Christmas Carol retellings. Even that Johnny Depp one coming out, I'm just like, okay, here we go again. Hey Chris, I hope you like hanging out with Tom and Zendaya on the red carpet. If you were to watch a Spidey film with James Gunn, what's your pick? Well, he really likes the animated movies. So I guess I'd like to pick his favorite animated film, which is maybe Into the Spider-Verse, and just have him commentate about what he thinks really works and on his mind, what he thinks those movies do great. Because I do agree with him, but I'd like to hear his stance on why. Could Destin Daniel Cretton be the next James Gunn to handle superhero movies to be the greatest? I don't know. Sometimes you just have a good director that's capable of handling a good movie. We don't need to automatically box them in superhero movies forever. Because, like, I love James Gunn in as a director, but I am kind of curious the day he stops doing comic book movies and he goes back to just regular films. I know this is not the best example, but I thought his movie Super, that wasn't a direct comic book movie, but it's definitely inspired by superhero films with Rainn Wilson. I thought that movie was great. Slither is awesome. So I'd be curious what James Gunn's career looks like once he's done with all the superhero stuff. Because hey, let's let him do Scooby Doo this time. You know, he can write it and direct it. All right. This is for everyone in the chat. What was your first video introduction of 3C films? Mine was Chris's review of Captain America Civil War. No way was that. I mean, I hate that that's been like, how do I say it? Recommended around for some reason. It just like keeps going around and people are finding it. And I'm like, can you two please stop? I know I was skinny once. I will get there someday. Let's see what the chat is saying in terms of that. Let me see if I can pull up. So people are saying the Batman, Chucky stuff. I wonder if anybody saw any of the videos I did before I privated them, because the Civil War Civil War video is not my original video. There were videos before, and nothing bad happened in them. I was just so embarrassed of the quality and the way they looked that I was just like, I think it's just better if we start my channel here. People said Space Jam. Mine was Sonic 2019, Leprechaun videos. Oh man, that was fun. Yeah, I hope we get a new Leprechaun movie. First video was Chucky. Yeah, No Way Home era. A lot of No Way Home. Scream 5. Hey, that was a good era. How did everyone meet Chris? Oh, you guys met me? Space Jam. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff going around. A lot of the big ones. I think Blade will be revisited post MCU reboot. Could see a Midnight Suns project eventually, especially with Ghost Rider announced. Could see, yeah, I mean with Ghost Rider, you would think maybe they want to do more. So yeah, I definitely think Midnight Suns is probably coming around the corner. I just don't know if they should do the Avengers thing of a project team up movie. Like I wouldn't be just do Ghost Rider, set that up, lead that into Midnight Suns, do Midnight Suns, and then branch off from there to the other characters. My family is from Peruvian puff pepper. Have you ever had Peruvian food? Oh, I should have saved the Peruvian puff pepper. Like ceviche, pollo a la brasa. I actually have had ceviche. I like it with crackers. I just don't like it when it's spicy. But I do enjoy ceviche. That's actually pretty good. Ceviche. Ceviche. Yeah, that's actually very delicious if you guys haven't had it. Very delicious food. I do recommend it. Ceviche. Okay. Spider-Man Brand New Day left me with many unanswered questions. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily wrap everything up in a neat bow. There's still room for some stuff, but I mean, hey, that's going to be the fun of the speculation, the theory video of where things could go. And last time, Tom Holland, I think, maybe saw my video. I don't know that for a fact, but Tom Holland kept saying in interviews that he watched a lot of things on the internet from what people wanted for his new movie. And I had a video where I did my predictions for Spider-Man 4, and it had 300,000 views. One of those might have been the CEO of Bureau himself. Love you, 3C. When Nightmare, with Nightmare, what main difference would you want to see versus a shot-for-shot remake? I'd love the movie focusing maybe on twins being tormented. That could be kind of cool, maybe twins like that. To me, I would want them to stick to practical. Of course, you could use CGI and things. Practical and mixed with CGI the way Freddy Alvarez did it with Alien Romulus, right? There's a lot of CG stuff in there, but there's a lot of practical effects and actual physical props used. And that's one of the things, if you go back to the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, they stand the test of time because there's a lot of great practical effects and different uses of VFX. Like there's some stop motion. There was, I think, like some hand-drawn stuff in there in one of the movies. So to me, it'd be the visual style, keeping interest. I mean, like that. I don't know how people don't realize the fun you could have with a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. You're going into somebody's dreamland. There's you can do so many art styles and different looks and different changes with everyone's fears and things like that. It could be a really great movie. Check Kyle K Dog's Reddit. Big fan. I mean, I'll refresh if I can find it. I don't know. Hey, oh yeah, you were out there, boss. I got to see you. It was nice meeting a fan. It was cool meeting you, buddy. What the heck? That's a Jeff Snyder jump scare. That's me after just seeing that photo. I should just use that whenever, like, my source is Jeff Snyder on this one. Chris Ass. I'm not seeing the edit, my friend. I'll definitely look it up after stream and comment on it. Hi, is it okay to submit my 3C U2's concept? Oh, yes, please do. I don't know if they'll accept it or they'll sell one, but please do. Please submit concepts and people can vote for it so U2's knows people want it. Yeah, do it. And if you get it, I will give you some commission or something if they allow me to give that. If not, I'll make sure you get the credit. Ooga booga 5432. 100 Brent send some love. Thank you so much. Have you ever had to defend your lady's honors? Thank goodness no, because I know I am not a fighter, but I will have to. I have to, right? It's the manly thing to do, and I hope I never have to do that. Respect ladies. You're the 3C, you're the GOAT 3C, and it was awesome to see you in the fellow's new video. No spoilers, but what's the next movie you think Tom Holland's Spider-Man will be in? My girl and I love the intro. I think it has to be Secret Wars. I don't think it's a spoiler. We know he's not in Doomsday. That's rumored to be Tobey Maguire. And nothing in Brand New Day like hints. At least I don't think so. Hints to that. I think, if anything, it's just Secret Wars. And maybe the Russos want to recreate, you know, the black suit cover from Secret Wars. But again, nothing in Brand New Day explicitly hints that. Did you buy Spider-Man and Goonisher on Fortnite? Oh, yes, I did. And thank you for reminding me. That's another video. I want to do a little Spider Fortnite, right? That'd be fun. See if I can get around to doing that. I almost forgot. In 4 days, I'm turning 21 years old. Hey, buy a can of Bureau now, buddy. Met you at Brand New Day premiere, posted on Reddit. Yes, I just saw the photo, man. It was great meeting you. You're very nice, very kind. Big fan. Also, in your with film behind the scenes, thought you'd like to check it out. Sounds up your alley. Comedy, horror, red lights. Okay, I'll look it up, buddy. I'll look it up. Chris, the rumor's true that you're playing the rebooted Black Panther? I'd get crucified. That ain't me, man. That ain't me. Chris, did you see how many views your last I know people like drama. No wonder there's channels that just talk about hate and anger and cancellations. It gets views and clicks, and nothing is more proof of that than my last live stream. What a good way to end though on the last thumbnail of the live streams. I am doing this, so don't panic when you see only one thing. This is honestly also for my mental health, guys, because sometimes I want to stream, but I can't find the best 3 pictures for topics, and it kind of is a struggle to make a title with 3 topics that sound interesting and that all fit in one thing, especially when I have the words 3C live in the front. So yes, I will just have the main topic as the thumbnail and title, but there will always be more than one topic, and you can know by checking the description because I always have them up there as I go live. But yeah, 75K views, buddy. Get dang. People just wanted to see, oh, finally that chubster gets his comeuppance. That's how it goes down. Have you seen Widow's Bait? So yeah, we've talked about it before when it was coming out. I liked it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm curious for season 2. I mainly like the episodes with the assistant, I think is who she is, or the girl character, because there was like a slasher episode. The episode where she's throwing a party I thought was awesome. So yeah, really good stuff in that show. If any video game adaptations deserve a remake, which should it be? Banjo-Kazooie. I've always liked me a little Banjo-Kazooie. That'd be a fun one. Sly Cooper. Let's do a new Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper, right? What's another one out there? Burnout. I've missed a good Burnout game. I used to play Burnout all the time, and I like the games where I forget which one, but Burnout had a mode where all you do is drive into like oncoming traffic, and you just try to see how much destruction you can make and the highest points you can earn. My little ADHD brain loved that destruction. I just driving straight onto the freeway and destroying virtual lives. Yeah. Someone said Fortnite remake. Okay. Hi, Chris, long-time watcher, first-time caller. So, with some YouTube creators having their directorial debuts, what kind of movie story would you tackle as your first? It's a cliche at this point, but a horror movie, buddy. It'd be a horror movie, but I can't just jump into it. I got to put in the work, and I got to see when I finally do that. I'm hoping it takes steps towards that, but I'm not trying to give up this YouTube life. I worked too hard for everything I've built, so this will always be my priority for now. No, for most of the time. Is Andrew still your favorite Spider-Man? See, it's funny because Andrew is, I think, my favorite Spider-Man, but my favorite movies are still the Tobey Maguire movies. I just think Andrew is really the best of both worlds. I think he's the best actor as Spider-Man. I do like his chemistry with Emma Stone in that. So yes, Andrew is still my favorite, and I think it still goes in order. Like if we're just talking pure Spider-Man, it still goes Andrew, Tobey, Tom. If we're talking movies, it's Tobey, Andrew, Tom. But there are some Tom movies that I think are better than the Andrew films. I'm not saying all as a whole. Maybe I'll bust out a ranking. I don't want to milk the Spider-Man content too much, but some of you guys definitely are curious about that. Hey 3C, a while ago you said you enjoyed The Flash. I'm a fan of the movie as well. My mom passed away a while back, so the scenes with Barry and Mom really moved me. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I could see how that would, man. It's very touching stuff, and it just really sucks how some outside factors can really sour your feeling on a movie. I don't blame you there. I think The Flash honestly was an enjoyable film. There was definitely things about it that weren't great and some visual choices that were off, but honestly, I found it to be pretty fun. So is it Toby Glazer? Yes, I'm a Toby Glazer. I grew up with the guy, man. What can I say? It's definitely a bias from growing up with him. Best not forget my brand new day super chat tomorrow from today. Oh, yes, son. Definitely. Just remind me in the regular chat. Sparking Zero got a DLC 1v1 me. You won't. Hey. As long as you're not a spammer, I got a method or two. I have to re-warm up. Spider-Man Brand New Day only is going to enhance Doomsday. This is exactly Marvel needed. Yeah, I agree. Because Spider-Man is doing so incredibly well right now at the box office and is getting great reception, it's gotten people on that train. It's the same reason Captain Marvel made $1 billion, because it was coming off the heel. It was leading into Infinity War and Endgame and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, it's the pour over hype of like, yes, we're in a good mood. Let's keep going. Like John said, there's no such thing as bad, but movies fatigue. Spider-Man Brand New Day plus pre-sales for Avengers is mediocrity. I will say, well, I agree. Maybe it's a situation of just, movie fatigue in the sense that it's like, oh, geez. I think Batman and Spider-Man will just remain an exception until they make like 3 or 4 terrible Batman or Spider-Man movies in a row. Those are just the exception to the rule. Those are the characters that, hey, you're always going to have big Spider-Man fans. You're always going to have big Batman fans, and every other hero in between is going to be fighting for that viewer's attention. So while yes, it's at the end of the day, it's Spider-Man. People love Spider-Man. Hey Chris, thank you for feeding us movie peeps so well. Recently, I've been trying to buying super chats on some of your videos, but I can't see them either way. I'll give you my college. No, you don't have to do that. Only give if you can afford to, and it doesn't hurt you, man. It's okay. I appreciate you just watching. That's help enough. But I'll be looking out for some of those. Spider-Man Brand New Day box office results plus Avengers Doomsday pre-sales proves there's no comic book fatigue. It's mediocrity free. I agree, but I also think there are some times where we could get a comic book movie that's maybe as good that isn't going to get as much love. I can't think of one that. I mean, Thunderbolts, I would say, is one of those. Yes, it made 400 mil, but that was actually a lot lower number, or it didn't even make 400 mil. It made like 380. What did Thunderbolts make? 380 at 382. I mean, that's a good, enjoyable movie, but it's just a bunch of random characters that people felt like they didn't catch up with or know all that much about, so it didn't perform as well as other Marvel films. I mean, I think Obsession made more money than Thunderbolts, which is awesome. Especially when you look at Obsession made more money than Thunderbolts. It might even have made more money than Fantastic Four. Let me see. Okay, no, Fantastic Four still on top. But yeah. Can you say I'm not an empty seat anymore? I'm different. I'm not an empty seat anymore. Punch me, I bleed. From Toby and the stream, can I edit for it? Okay. I'll try again without this in the way. I'm not an empty seat anymore. I'm different. Punch me, I bleed. Oh, bro was trying way too hard. Hey, I was doing it like if Christopher Nolan was giving me directions. Yes, Mr. Nolan. Yes, yes. Lock in character like I'm Leo in that one clip of Wolf of Wall Street. You guys seen it where he locks in right before they say cut or direct or whatever? Action. Actor Chris. Chris can't act. Ah! Hey, wait till you see my role in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, baby. I've been watching your channel before the No Way Home leaks first came out. I was around 15 and now I'm 20. I'm still watching every video peak. Thank you, man. I know I've probably had people fall off or my cringiness, they outgrow it or they think, yeah. I've met some fans where they literally say, I used to watch you, and I'm like, you used to watch me? What happened? Thank you, though. It shouldn't happen, but would you handle a Back to the Future reboot? Also love Brand New Day, but I hope we see the pre-test screen in cut one day. I would have been great. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what Tom was talking about in some of that stuff, or the longer version that Destin had. I mean, I really would not know what to tell you. I think you just do a separate universe reboot and don't even touch the originals. They're beloved, they're great, they're beautiful. No point in trying that. But I think maybe there is a way you can do an updated version with a slightly different story. I would not know how to go with that. That's a complicated one. And as much as they say, no, don't touch it, don't touch it, it's gonna be touched someday. And when it is, I will be first in line for a ticket. All right. What's your thoughts on X-Men 97 Season 2? Just the show alone. Sadly, have not seen it, my friend. I know. Boo L. Chris. Unked and chopped, as we expected. You didn't give me a sound effect for TASM 2. Oh, sorry. Noah McCollin sends in some love. Thank you so much. Spider-Man, Superman got their respect for the city. Now we need Batman Part 2 for Batman, for people to look up to. See, I don't know. I'm hesitant on that. Some people were saying that, that, and Matt Reeves did the best version of the way I think that works with like some Batman Hope Core. But I don't know. I would be very curious to see if in the second movie they lean more on that there are some citizens of Gotham that like love the bat and they worship him. Sometimes I do like the fear, but then again, Matt Reeves had a great way of like you can only go so far with vengeance and fear. You need hope. Why Shang-Chi and Spider-Man be DDK or Wonder Man Season 2? Destin Daniel Craig or Wonder Man 2? I'd rather Shang-Chi 2 and Spider-Man 5. But I do feel really bad for Wonder Man. Oh, would you rather? Would you rather Shang-Chi and Spider-Man by Daniel Craig or Wonder Man Season 2? As much as I love Wonder Man Season 2, I mean, I've been waiting for a Shang-Chi sequel, and how am I always going to say no to a Spider-Man movie? You live in Texas. I'm in Okie. Do Texans have a problem with Oklahoma? No. If anything, we go there for vacation. That's our vacation. I can't tell you how many times growing up Oklahoma was my Florida. Oklahoma was my Miami. Brian, is this all vacation? Yes. Are we trash? Well, yes, we are. Hey, if you're a Texan, Oklahoma is your vacation spot at least a couple times as you're growing up. Because some people say yes and some people say no, but I don't have any problem with Oklahoma. All right. Hey Chris, favorite YouTuber. I was at San Diego Comic-Con and have some very interesting, reliable lanterns information with a profile. I'd love to share with you. Well, hit me up, man. I'm curious about lanterns. No spoilers though. I am very excited for the show and I don't want everything completely ruined. Thoughts on a Project Hail Mary sequel? I don't know what you would do with that. You'd have to convince me. Is there a book that's a sequel? Because I know they were written as books, or it has a book, the first one. But I mean, more Gossman and Rocky, sure. Yo, Chris, just saw Pinocchio Unstrung. Definitely the best out of the films. Really liked Cricket and Geppetto. They were really good. Overall, movie was entertaining. Okay, I'm curious. I still need to sit down and watch it. Chris, please meet me in Yelena's office ASAP. Hey. You ain't. I'm wearing everything. If anything, I'm layering it up before I get in. First video of yours I watched was back in 2016 for Ghostbusters 2016. Yeah, I still don't hate that movie, but it was not really what the brand needed at the time. What happened on Staten Island when he saved Frank? Well, can't talk about that because that's a brand new day spoiler. Thoughts on Sabrina Carpenter as Dazzler? Is Dazzler somebody we're really going to bring in? I'm sure there'll be a lot of background mutants, right? Like in the X-Men movie, like they'll have the main five, but then there's got to be like a couple, like a Jubilee back there, a Dazzler, sure. Have you watched Avatar Aang? No, unfortunately. The stream that got deleted is on Spotify. Nice. I wonder, and it probably be simple, but how come there isn't a lot of characters versus character movie? It just occurs in my mind, and it really got me curious. I wonder, and it'd probably be as simple, but how come there isn't a lot of character versus character movie? I mean, we had a good amount of that. We had the Civil War movie with Iron Man and Captain America. We had Batman vs. Superman with Superman and Batman. Yeah, we haven't gotten many other versus movies. I think it's usually because sometimes those two characters are owned by different parties. So to make that movie, although it might be a financial success, you're splitting the movie in half, and sometimes people don't want to do that. I think Godzilla and Kong, you're right. That's another one. I do miss an Alien vs. Predator. Just binge watch Conjuringverse for the first time, and hot take, I think Creation is more enjoyable than the first Conjuring movie. Annabelle Creation, is that the David F. Sandberg one? Because I agree. I think David F. Sandberg really cooked with Annabelle Creation. I remember being pretty terrified with that. David F. Sandberg is great. When he in horror, wasn't a huge fan of his what was it, the dang, I'm already slipping on the name, but the video game movie that he recently did, was not the hugest fan of that, but I'm still curious, especially with his next projects and what he's got coming up. I'm waiting for someone in the chat to tell. Until Dawn, thank you. Until Dawn. Good night, Drew. Absolute Spider-Man in Secret Wars. Absolute Spider-Man. What's he going to be doing? Remember when I asked which YouTuber or comedian should direct a horror movie? That question also includes comedians, not just YouTubers. So which comedian should write and direct a horror movie? Shane Gillis. Let's see what he's got cooking up his sleeve, right? Let's do Trailer Park Get Out. I'm trying to think of other comedians I really like right now. Oh man, I've kind of been not keeping up with the comedian game. Let's see what some of y'all what's that one that like Marcelo from SNL copies really good? Sebastian Maniscalco. What if you go to the cabin and the cabin is haunted? I'm trying to have a vacation here. I'm like, what's going on? You see the ghost or what? That's my best Sebastian impression. But Kevin Hart, that'd be funny. I mean, technically Chris Rock did his with the Saw movie, right? He did what was it? He did Spiral, and he was like very like, I want to do a Saw movie, and they let him. All right. I have a friend who's getting sick of the amount of horror movies lately. Do you worry about horror fatigue? We're not there yet, but you definitely have. I think we are inching close to something that is in danger. Horror is always going to be around. Okay, if you talk to a real horror fan, they even like the bad movies, the schlocky movies. Okay, we just enjoy someone getting killed as long as you have a half entertaining plot. Horror fans are not that hard to please. We're very loyal. We're really great people. But there is a new thing where horror is now being more mainstream and horror is like more exciting, right? And with that, you have the people who overhype horror movies when they come out. It's the scariest thing ever. It's the most frightening film ever. Every 3 months, we have the newest. It's the most scary movie you will watch. It's the most, and that I think is what's going to kill it more than, oh, it's just too many horror movies. There's a horror movie almost every other week. And if you're a real horror fan, like I said, there's like a horror movie releasing like 5 of them every week on VOD or something like that. I mean, there was this one I was like, should I check this out? Should I watch this? Lifetime is coming out with a killer clown movie. I was like, that might be fun to watch. Yeah, it's called Killer Clown. It's releasing August 1st. And I mean, you know what? I know it's not going to be good. I know it's going to be a Lifetime movie. But there is that hokey part of me as a horror fan where it's like, all right, I like that costume enough. Let's see what Lifetime does with a killer clown movie. Sure. And so this is definitely something I would have spent my Friday night as a kid. If I saw the ad for this, I was like, oh, that looks fun. What channel's Lifetime, Dad? All right, let's pop it on. So, yes, I don't think there will ever be horror fatigue because real horror fans, they watch really anything and we're happy to. But there is going to be a thing where we get tired of always hearing, oh, horror this is the best one, is that. And that is, I think, would kill it in the mainstream. This says, nah, you guys got bad taste. Hey, look, it's just us. You could say that, sure. That's totally a fair point, especially if you're not into it. I mean, it's these kind of horror movies that got me into horror. And I just like it. Brand New Day healed parts of me. Best camera work. I agree. Would you want to buy a green screen for live streams? And when people make green screen edits of you? I mean, I do have a green screen. I could always pop it on, but I'm always scared of what people would make, man. Chris, how do you feel about Gambit in X-Men 97? I just want to know how you feel about him. See, I just it's I'm not enough. I like the Cajun accent. I like his love for Rogue. It's about as much as I remember. He had aura moments. Hey, Chris, what are your thoughts on X-Men season 2 and show genuinely? I guess I'm gonna have to find time to binge it because enough of you asked. Could you remove the say that again sound effect on the soundboard? I actually kind of had it. I have not used it in a long time, buddy. Do you think the post-credit scene? I mean, I have like literally 30 sound bites, and I just relegate myself to. So you know what? Every super chat now, I'm using a new sound bite, even if it doesn't make sense. Hey, Chris, I've watched you for the longest time. My grandma just died, and you bring joy to me. Do you think the post-credit scene in Brand New Day could be Toby from the beginning of Doomsday? I can't go into it because it'd be a spoiler, but it's such a vague post-credit scene, it could be anything, and I don't even know if they know what it means. Which is better to reach out, email or social media? Email. What will Sadie Sink? Will Sadie Sink be back in Doomsday or Secret Wars? I'm gonna go Secret Wars. Crazy. Chris, how do you manage your schedule? Having a baby to look out for and constantly dropping videos. I mean, it's not the best. I definitely need to work on a better schedule. I am not perfect at it, and I still find as much time as I can to give my lady breaks and to spend time with my baby because I love to see him grow, and he's changing every day. It's crazy. I am maybe thinking about starting to hire more of an editor. I have Read the Editor, which is great, but even he has other clients. He has other things going on, and that's great for him. So I might need to look for a second editor for other things and things like that because that really frees up my time to be able to do stuff. But even then, things that like happen on the fly for like TikToks and things like that, yeah, they sucks when I have to be like, oh, toss my baby, run upstairs. Of course I'm paying. I'm not gonna just have you edit for me for free. And I always say, if you're someone that thinks they can, you just have to be over 18 and you have to show me your actual experience. Don't hit me up with, I've never done editing, but I think I could do what you do. I'm not paying somebody to do what they think. I want to pay someone to do better than what I can do. I'm not trying to find someone that can do exactly what I could do. Because then what would be the point in that? But yeah, if you want to, just take any moment from this live stream or one of the clips from the Clips channel and edit it like if it was a regular video. And if I think it's impressive enough, I will do it. That's how Reed got the job. He just took a clip of mine, edited it the way he did. And I was like, oh, I like this, Reed. You hired. All right. 3C, what horror film would you make a supernatural or a straight up slasher? What horror film would you make a supernatural? See, I'm not huge on supernatural movies. They're probably like my least favorite. I like them a little grounded and realistic. Which is odd, you know, because I'm like with other things, I don't want them grounded and realistic. But I'd go slasher. Thanks for the advice about catching up on the MCU. Fortunately, I have gotten much spoiled. Only big things that spoiled for me while back. What happened to Iron Man? I mean, yes, but there's still so much to enjoy and so many great moments. I still think I still think you'd be fine to check that all out. Someone said I edit with AI. Trust me. Heck no, bro. No, this is what's gonna happen to my channel if I release an AI edited video. Reese really got canceled this time. Congrats on going viral this week. Thank you so much for that, son. I don't like my dreams. I feel like you don't love me as much as I do. Like it's not. I don't like my dreams. I feel like you don't love me as much as I do. Like it's not mutual. I like the voice cracks in it. And Indy, nice touch. If you had to pick, would you rather see DC become a juggernaut Impact threats or MCU continue on. I want them both to succeed. I don't know why we have this like choosy battle, and I can say something positive about Marvel, and then I'm a Marvel shill. I'll say something positive about DC, and then the DC. I want them both to succeed because I like both. To me, I always thought like DC was the higher brand, and it wasn't until Kevin Feige and the MCU came around they really elevated Marvel. Because again, growing up, grew up on shows like the Justice League animated series, Teen Titans, all the animated Batman movies, the animated series, and Tim Burton's Batman and all. So to me, DC was always higher and should have been more respectable and all the room to succeed. It's kind of crazy, where they are now. I love you, Chris. You're a genuine person, but please don't become a studio shill. I like John, but him diminishing any critic of the Odyssey cop out. No, he did not diminish any critic from the Odyssey. If you're talking about his video where he debunks immature man babies, that is not diminishing any criticism of the Odyssey. You're allowed to criticize the Odyssey, and you're allowed to say whether you like something or didn't like it. But when you go Helen of Detroit, which I think is some of the most racist, awful things I've ever read in my life, then that's not genuine criticism. That's not that. That's just awful. That's just you being an awful person. If you go, I didn't like the pacing of the movie. I didn't think Matt Damon was properly cast, and maybe we could have got a stronger actor. I do wish they went with the Shakespearean accents just to give it that old timey feel. Genuine, honest criticism that has actual factual points. I'll understand that. I'll listen to you, and I go, you know what? Great opinion. You go, Elliot Page Achilles. Oh yeah, right, buddy. I'm just like, hit the road, dude. What are we doing? You're not a moviegoer. You're just spewing your own insecurities online and hoping you find your community of clan members to get together. Get out of here, macaw. Only way to save DCU is to have Robert Pat as Bat. I mean, at this point, it's like, when do we get the Brave and the Bold? And you know what? James is taking his time and making sure it's as good as it can be, and I trust him for that. And I'm very curious if or when that movie comes out. With the merger and uncertainties with like Paramount, Warner Brothers, and James Gunn's contract up at the beginning of 2027, I really don't know if he's staying or not. And I don't even think it's like for the political reasons. I just think, again, like even me, someone who just like got like small, and I realized it was insignificant amount of hate online for just my opinion. I cannot imagine being Kevin Feige. I cannot imagine being James Gunn and the consistent slander online and pressure. Like, bro, why would I want that? Why wouldn't I just step aside and go back to just making my movies without all that pressure, right? I definitely don't blame Gunn if he decides to just step aside and leave, because it's a hard job. It's a hard job. But Rob Pat, I also just don't know if that's happening, man. Like it's so hard because part of me is like, I was a merger bro, and there's a little part of me that's still inside is like, yeah, let's just do it. But then when I think about like the Justice League movie, it is slightly hard to see like Robert Pattinson's Batman in the Watchtower in front of a giant computer with like Flash and Green Lantern. I'm like, it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to see. Can't believe there's a full leaked version floating on Twitter of Brand New Day. I'm tempted seeing it on Sunday. I don't know if there actually is. It might have been the meme one you thought of. I think there's like this meme edit going around of like, it's called the Spider-Man polyester edit. I think that's what it is that you saw, because I also saw that video of like, screw it, full Brand New Day movie. But if you actually click on it, it's like a meme thing. But who knows? Maybe the whole movie is online. I hope not. They should cast you to play Beast in the MCU X-Men. Oh, man. Let me be Cyclops. Can I be a mod? I run your 3C edits account. You in the regular chat, buddy? We'll see. Drew Stark, I did see that. You're right. I think Jeff Snyder did point that out. I don't know about him in turn, not like, oh, I don't know about him as Cyclops. I just don't know about him. I don't think I've seen him anything. this community note saying that it was Doom's servant, but I mean, he's got the more traditional look of what you would expect a Cyclops, you know, a fit guy with a jawline and all that. So I can't speak to his acting ability. Right now, to me, Cooper Hoffman is like the better actor. But if I'm going just on appearances, well, then yeah, he fits the Scott Summers appearance. I honestly just haven't seen him in anything. So I didn't have much to comment on that one. Macau since I'm just an awful person then, bro. Sorry, man. I mean, are you? Like, cause sometimes it's like talking to a wall with these people, because I'm like, if you're being offended that I'm calling out the racist and transphobes, and that bothers you, that's because you are one. If you're someone who, like I said, genuinely didn't like the Odyssey for actual reasons, there's no reason for you to be offended. And I don't think of you as an awful person, because I just said you're allowed to dislike the Odyssey, but if you're gonna dislike it for actual movie and critical reasons, not things that have to deal with race or your own personal feelings. Because like I just can't see those people on screen. It makes me just then that's just you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. That's just you. I was scared if you walk outside because you're gonna get heart attacks looking at everyone around you. I don't know what to tell you. Love you, Chris. Wondering why it's taking so long to remove Blade from the Marvel website. I know they're not completely connected, but it's updated so often. I feel they would have removed. Do you think they might get after Ghost Rider? I feel like Feige probably still wants to make it. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Blade was a very impactful movie. It was one of the early live action of that era, right, with the X-Men and Spider-Man and all that. It was a big deal to a lot of people, and so I gotta think he still wants to have that happen. It's just a shame all this, but again, we just don't know the plans of that. We do not know. See here. Could you add a somebody get these beggars out of here? You know what? Yes, when the movie gets released and I can get the actual clean soundbite from that clip, sure, I'll edit that, and then I'll use it for the people in here that don't need to be in here. So yeah. All right, guys, that is it for the 3C Friday live stream. I want to thank you guys so much for being here, for being supportive, great fans. I love you guys so much. You are such a great community. Stay tuned for the theory video on what I think will happen in the next Spider-Man movie or the future Spider-Man. Spoiler review for Brand New Day's currently up, and I am trying to plan Sunday, 6:30 Central Time for the spoiler live talk so that you guys can chime in what you like, what you didn't like, because I know there's opinions both ways. And well, until next time, y'all, I will see y'all.